Ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly glad to be here tonight.
Welcome to the Moon Men Podcast.
Don't be afraid.
Little escapade of mine involving a couple of planets which shall be nameless.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
For it. It's not gay if it's the homies. Everything look good?
Did you say homosexual?
Homosexual.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
You know, it's not, like I said, it's not gay if it's the homies.
Yeah, you're right.
But like I was saying, you probably understand the stresses of all this better than most people because like with your YouTube, right? You have to, one, work on all the cars and then record while you're working on it, which I got to give you credit for because when I realized you had a YouTube, I went and I checked it out. And the B-roll you do, like, oh my God, like, what's your setup? How are you doing that?
Thank you, man. Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we're good.
cool. I didn't know. So the B-roll is like super important to me because not only does it give you like an extra perspective or an extra view on whatever you're doing, but it also helps with the editing process where throwing a clip of B-roll over something, you could cut your audio over a
you could put it on top of it. It looks so professional.
Exactly. Yeah, you just make things flow a little nicer. But for the gear I have a slider, and that slider is badass because you just set it up and I do my thing while I'm working and the slider will just go on its own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the slider will go on its own and it's you could set it to however long you want. So if the task that I'm doing is like 30 minutes or 10 minutes, I set it to however it is. So once I'm started with the task and I end the task, the camera kind of starts and ends with me.
Oh, that's
so it'll
badass.
But yeah, that's pretty much how the B-roll goes.
But see, you understand. So one, you're working on the cars, then you got to set all the equipment while you're working on the cars. And then you got to make sure all the video is good and that you got the shots you needed.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you got to compile the audio, you got to get the video, and then you got to put it all together. You got to get your thumbnail. So there's a lot of extra things that go into it.
It is a lot, and that's why I can appreciate what you guys do because there's a lot to any art that most people don't appreciate. Like they appreciate the final result, but nothing in between.
Yeah, that's all I am. I don't really do shit. I just
you just show up and look pretty.
Yeah. I used to try to line. I'm like, Eddie, help. But honestly, like I do all the back end work. Eddie does all the front end. So like he handles scheduling. He's the one that contacts all the guests, like when he reached out to you. And then I do all the grunt work. You know, I'm doing the editing, the research, shit like that. I don't know. It's not that much. It's mainly just editing, but it's a bitch and a half sometimes.
I'm curious, how did this start? Like whose idea was it, and how did you guys get the ball?
It was mainly his.
It was both of ours because you know how in high school everybody's like, we should start a podcast, right?
Yeah,
because we have like stupid conversations, or we have like deep conversations.
Yeah,
it was exactly that. So in high school, me and Eddie would have bullshit conversations with all our friends. And then we would be like, oh, let's start a podcast. And we never did. We always kind of joked about it. And one day, do you remember Andrew Bravo?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so me and Andrew were sitting at a Burger King. And we had this really deep philosophical conversation about God. And he was sitting there watching. He was like, dude, we need to start a show. And that day always stuck with me. So one day, heartbroken after a little breakup, I was like, Eddie, let's start a podcast. And he goes, seriously? And I was like, yeah, let's just record right now. So we did like a bullshit episode. We showed our friends and they're like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. Like, you guys should do this. And so we were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
we got my laptop. We got my little snowball mic and then we just started.
You guys just went at it?
Yeah. If you listen to the first episode, it sounds like absolute dog shit, but you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at my first video, it looks like absolute dog shit too. The audio's bad. And audio is super important with anything,
especially when you're working outside.
Yeah, especially when you're working outside and you have like all these foreign noises that are coming through and picking up on the mic. Like even the last video I did, I had a couple complaints about audio because I don't have a lav mic and I just ordered one, and so the distance created from the camera makes a big audio. Like it just sounds messy and a little muddy and unprofessional too. So I just invested in better audio.
Dude, I know I saw your videos, right? And I was like, oh, the audio sounds like a little echoey, but it sounds good. Like at the same time, like it gives you that atmosphere of actually being in the garage and working on the cars.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, this is so badass. Like I was watching it and I was just like in awe. Like I was like, oh my God, like he really got out here. He did it. Like you got your subscriber count up. I was like, wow, he's really, I was so proud in a sense for you. Like I was so happy for you. I was like, oh my God, like me and Angel were never really close or anything, but I'm glad that he's out here doing this. You know, I'm glad he's succeeding.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And you're right, we weren't really close. I think I talked to Eddie more.
I remember every time I fell, you fell. Remember that in PE?
Oh yeah.
We're the clumsy guys.
You fell?
Yeah,
like fell on the floor?
Yeah, like if I fell, I had to look at Angel, and Angel had to.
Yeah, it was a synchronized dance.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys would both look less stupid.
Yeah. If both of us look stupid, then both of us look less.
Yeah. That's a good plan. That's a good plan. Who came up with that? Was that you?
I think. I don't know who it was.
It was
it's because
telepathy.
Because I noticed he kept every time we were outside or we were playing basketball, he fucking fell, and then I'll do the same shit. I'm like, Angel, at some point we're just
come on, let's just work together here.
I'm gonna flip the tables on you. So what made you do the YouTube?
So the YouTube, so you guys remember the blue Mustang?
Yeah.
Lil Blue?
Yeah, Lil Blue.
I watched the videos.
Thank you. Yeah, so Lil Blue is kind of what got my passion started with like cars and stuff. And well, I did all kinds of things to that car. It was a really cool build, and I didn't like that I couldn't see what like the progress made. It was just the final result, and I just had pictures of it when it was done. So when I got this new project, Little Red, I was like, I want to get every single thing that I can, while also helping other people that might want to do the same thing. Because if I were to look up a video on a certain task that needs to be done on the car and that doesn't exist, I'm kind of stuck. So I wanted to help. I wanted to be the answers that I was looking for when I was younger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put out information of how to do a bunch of things with engines or anything restoration wise, just to help other people. And obviously the dream is to get paid for those videos that you do, just like you guys here. So I started that. The channel was growing, but it was definitely not gonna pay any bills anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
So I had a couple videos out, and then okay, so this kind of has to go backwards a little more. Damn, I'm saying a lot.
No, you're good. You're good.
At least you don't stutter like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep all the speech defects in there. Like I see.
Yeah.
We keep all the speech defects in here because it's honest conversation. We're not trying to filter anything.
Yeah. Okay. I like that because perfection is a lie.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back, I painted this Mustang, the red Mustang, Little Red, at this shop called U Wrench. And at that shop, you basically could rent out the tools that you need to work on your car, so you could just do whatever the hell you want. It's not like you take it and they fix it for you, which they can.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anyway, I painted the car there, and I guess the work that I did caught the owner's attention, so I ended up getting a job there.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I ended up getting hired there, and I worked there for a couple months, probably like 6 or 8 months. And next door to that shop, there was this YouTuber. And I guess she would see me working there and things like that. So she started hiring me for little jobs, here and there. And those little jobs turned into a full-time job helping this YouTuber. So right there, I really got to learn how to be efficient and, to maximize how I would record something and a task at hand. So that kind of got my YouTube ball rolling a little more. It upped my quality in the videos that I do,
and it helped you familiarize. Thank you.
Yeah,
familiarize yourself with the whole process of it.
Yeah, exactly. It helped me optimize how I did it, and it helped me improve in a lot of ways.
I noticed just how comfortable you were in front of the camera, like instantly, right? Because what's that thing that they call it? It's like
camera shy.
not camera shy, when the camera loves them or something like that. Like
Photogenic?
kind of, in a sense, like you shine on the camera, right? You're not shy, you're not awkward, like you take control of the scene and it makes it very comfortable to watch. Versus like if you're watching somebody and they like, you know, they're uncomfortable and it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I watched your videos and I was so surprised by how easily I got into them, because like I had an interest in cars and I know a little bit, but I've never been like a car guy, right?
Yeah.
But like watching your videos kind of made me feel like I understood what was going on. When you'd be like, oh, this part isn't gonna fit this part, I'm gonna have to round it. I'm like, of course it doesn't. What the fuck, man? Like I was getting into it, right? And I was like, holy shit, like. And again, like I used to watch a lot of car videos. I used to be into it and I almost got like full on into it, but then I backed away, and then watching your videos helped me. It was like a comfortable middle ground.
Right, okay.
You know? And it was really cool. I noticed that immediately, just how comfortable you were and how professional it is, bro. The B-rolls, the audio.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw your most recent one, and then when the little rookie pilot symbol came up,
yeah,
I was like, holy shit, like he's really jumping up again. I was like, this is badass.
It's funny that you say that about how comfortable I am on camera, because I feel like it's just human nature to be shy around cameras. And I don't feel like I'm how do you say it? Like you said, I shine on camera, and that's kind of crazy, because now I see it from the viewer's perspective rather than from my perspective. Because I do get shy around camera. I stutter and I mess things up and all that. But obviously, a lot of that gets cut out and to make it look as professional as it can be. But
yeah.
But it's awesome to hear that from a viewer's perspective.
Yeah, no, of course. It was it really caught my attention, because I've known some other people who try to start YouTube channels, and I supported them, you know, to an extent, but I could always tell like they didn't have that it factor, in a sense, right? They didn't have that comfortability being a performer, being an entertainer, in a sense, right? Because even though your main passion is cars and that's what the channel's focused on, the entirety of putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, in a sense, is hard to do, and you have to have the mindset to do it. And you just got comfortable doing it. I noticed it right away. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna blow up. Like he's probably gonna jump all the way up there, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I mean,
I'm calling it now. Everybody can hear this. Okay?
You can hear it? All right.
I'm calling it now.
Sick. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the goal for I guess everybody that does this kind of thing, and putting your art out there, just like you guys with your podcast. But it's just hard work, and it sucks when you focus too much on the analytics of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, why didn't this perform as good, or this video performed better than last video, so maybe I should do more of this. And then you start losing
what made you start, right?
Exactly. What made you start? You start losing that vision that, oh, I'm just gonna record and film what I want to do and exactly how I want to do it, because you start getting lost in the analytics a bit. But I guess that's just the nature of the beast.
It really is, and I'm very grateful that I have him here, because he kind of grounds me, since I'm more of like the back end and I'm doing the analytics, I'm doing the editing and that kind of thing, the marketing. I start to focus more on the business side of things. I'm like, numbers. How do we grow? How do we get more audience, right? And then he kind of reminds me, he doesn't deliberately sit me down. He's like, Devin, you need to chill. But him just being himself, like, reminds me of why we're doing the show and what we should be focusing on, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, we started doing these bonus episodes where we basically just talk about whatever we want, and it's, you know, us. So 1 week it'll be me by myself. The next week it'll be him by myself. And watching himself. And watching his, or listening to his and seeing how he goes about it, reminds me of why we started in the first place. Because I start trying to focus on things I think the audience will like, instead of things that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I see him, and he's talking about wrestling, he's talking about sports, and he doesn't care how it performs or who's this. He's doing it because he wants to do it. And I'm like, okay. And it helps ground me.
I love that you give him that credit, and that that you recognize his role in this, because I've been in so many situations where credit isn't given to whoever, where there's a giant project or a little project, and
Oh no, I'll never understate his role. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like he's editing every episode, right?
Yeah.
But if he wasn't here, the show wouldn't be what it is. I wouldn't have got this far, and it would have definitely morphed along the way.
It would have been fucking boring.
It would have been boring as hell. And the fact that he's here and he helps give it the spark that it has, you know, I'll never take that away from him.
yeah, I love that. I love that you can recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, or otherwise he's gonna fucking bounce one of these days. He's gonna be like, "Fuck this, you don't appreciate me."
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh man.
No, you're good. You're good.
What were we gonna say? Were we gonna say the N word? You were gonna say the N word, weren't you?
I was close. I wasn't.
He doesn't say the N word. Let's just throw that out there, okay?
Yeah,
I've
guys,
never heard him
please
say the
don't
N word.
cancel me. I just started getting paid on YouTube. Please no. Oh man.
I was actually gonna ask, are you starting to get to a point where you're seeing a career with the YouTube itself?
I think I'm at that point where I don't know. I'm starting to get paid, but I'm not sure if.
You don't know if it's gonna be like a forever thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna pay me enough to pay the bills
Okay.
if I have to get another job or things like that. Which I do. I do have I do still work with that YouTuber, but I also do a lot of work for myself at my own shop at the stable.
I was actually gonna ask you, yeah, because there's a lot of little elements of your life that I think are very fascinating. So I wanted to like pick your brain about them. So the shop, was that because of the YouTube, or is that completely independent from that?
Yeah, it was definitely because of YouTube. But I was also in a good position to do that for myself and for my projects. But YouTube was just a plus, a bonus that I could add into that. Because the shop, obviously, it's just a shop for me and me only.
Mm-hmm.
Next door, there's a little office space where Karen does her business things, but the shop is entirely my space to do whatever the hell I want in. So I was like, why not make a YouTube, make further videos on YouTube to, I don't know, make whatever I want. And,
yeah.
and
And
do
it's
things
cool.
like that.
You're utilizing the position you're in because you're already working on all these different cars, and like you said, you want to create like a repertoire for people to go and like learn.
Right.
So now you have like a professional space to do it, and then not only the Mustangs that you work on, like people will come in, maybe they have a Miata or something or a Mazda, and then boom, you get to show them how to do that too.
Exactly.
Have
So
you
that's
ever
pretty
thought
cool.
about like switching up the videos? Still have a car base, but like
Vlogs or something?
switching up the themes, like having games or something.
I don't play as much games as I would want to. So probably wouldn't be gaming, but I have thought about like travel vlogs or things like that. But it's kind of hard because if the channel is based off of one thing, do you put something out there that's a completely different category, or do you
you
start
can just
another one?
experiment with it.
Yeah, that is true. You can experiment.
And if it doesn't do good, then you're not gonna do it ever again. You
Yeah.
stick with that one thing.
Yeah.
See, that's
is
what I
right.
mean, because like in my head I had a very closed off format for the show, and I was like, we're gonna stick with this, right? But then he would get an idea, and I'm like, I don't know if we can do that because we're already pre-established. Like, you can't just start throwing extra shit. And he's like, let's just experiment with it. And it gives me the motivation to be like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we do it, you know?
Oh yeah. See, so now I got a little bit of that Eddie flavor that goes into the show.
Because then you're like, well, maybe I could do one, because like you are you still traveling a lot?
I haven't traveled in 2023, but we do have a trip planned for Paris in September.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, the end of August into September. So I was thinking about, but there's also the putting both of those ideas together and make a travel vlog for Paris, but also maybe go car spotting or
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
Things like that.
See, that's what I mean. Like, you could still be doing the gaming stuff or whatever, but still have that main focus. In
Yeah,
the
that
video.
element in there.
Yeah.
See, so I have thought about that. Obviously, it's not something that can be done easily because, well, travel is very expensive.
I was actually gonna ask, is it because of the pilot training that you get to travel so much, or is it out of pocket?
No, so I actually I don't usually pay for travel. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with like rewards points on credit cards.
Very little. I never use them.
So the way it works is and obviously credit cards can, that's a whole other topic where you can go crazy and spend all your money. But with the restoration of cars, there's a whole lot of expenses, very big expenses. So I like to put them on a credit card rather than just paying it cash, even if I do have the cash. So say I spend $20,000 on whatever. I don't know what I would spend $20,000 on.
But that's basically a car right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
A used car.
So you get X amount of points for X amount of dollars that you spend, and by the end of the year, with the business expenses, I have enough to fly to Paris. So most of our vacations have been completely free.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fucking
That's
tight.
badass.
Yeah, besides the food and stuff.
Okay, wait, before I get into the nitty gritties of it, where have you traveled? Like, how many trips have you been on now?
So the first let's see. So the first trip that I took with the biggest bonus I got in rewards points, I think was to Mykonos, which is in Greece.
Oh, okay.
shit.
Yeah. So me and Karen, we flew to Paris, and then from Paris we connected to Athens, Greece. And then in Athens, Greece, we got a ferry to the island in Mykonos.
Dude.
God damn.
Yeah, so
That's fucking sick.
How long were you guys in Europe then, or wherever the fuck those places are?
for that first time, we were there for a week. It was like 8 days, I believe. But yeah, the second time we were there, we extended the trip by a lot. So we had this was 2022. We had a 1 week planned in Paris, but then we planned it, and then time went on, and we accumulated a little bit more points, and we added Italy to the trip, and then and then coincidentally, my mom had won a cruise in Greece at the casino for some reason. I don't know why.
Really?
They gave her a cruise for free.
Dassault or the
Diamond.
Diamond? There
Yeah,
you go.
so
Diamond.
Desert
Shit.
Diamond Casino gave her a free cruise, and it was in October. But me and Karen were in Europe already planned for September, so we were like, why not meet my mom in Greece and stay the whole month? And
Dude.
yeah,
Oh,
That's
damn.
fucking sick.
yeah. So we debated for a long time, and can we afford to stay? Do we even want to stay? Are we gonna get homesick for a month? And I really like the logistics of travel, like making sure the plane lines up with the taxi that's gonna pick us up, or the ferry
Mhm.
that's scheduled, and if this date is available for this and it doesn't fit with this. So it was a whole month of planning. So
That part actually kind of stresses me out. Like trying to
Yeah.
do
The time management.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
and
awful at that.
the time management was obviously I try to account for the mistakes, or if we accidentally missed this, or whatever, but everything surprisingly for the whole month went perfect.
Really?
Yeah, it surprisingly went really perfect.
If we need a war general, I'm calling this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got everything fucking planned out to the T.
Yeah, so everything went perfect, but we went to Paris. We stayed at the Waldorf Astoria, which was free, by the way, and it's a 5-star hotel.
What?
Yeah, we stayed there for a week. It was free. It even has a two Michelin star restaurant in there
Oh
that's
my
Gordon Ramsay's.
God.
And that it was like, it's a different type of fancy. Like, we did not belong there at all.
I was gonna ask because like I've traveled like throughout the United States a little bit, but it's always like cities, so I kind of feel at home wherever I go. Right? It's
Yeah.
like California, Las Vegas, they're different, shit like that, but you kind of still feel like you know what's going on. But in
Right.
these other countries, like how do you manage? Because I'm willing to bet most of the people there don't speak English. So like, how do you guys navigate?
Wait,
like,
before you answer, did everyone stink?
I'm about to get kicked out of France.
Oh,
Banned
God.
from France. The subways did. The subways absolutely did.
I think
stink.
that's a must, though. I feel like there's
What did they smell like? Out of curiosity.
like must. Like
must.
like there was this one subway that we got from where the Eiffel Tower was back to Versailles where our hotel was, and it was so packed, like literally people were like grinding up against me, and it stunk, and it was probably the worst thing we went through there.
So like did everybody notice you guys were foreigners?
I'm sure they could notice, but I doubt they would care because of how much foreigners and travelers go to Paris all the time. So, but at the hotel when we arrived, like I said, it was it was too fancy almost, and we were there off of it was like 36 hours of travel from Phoenix all the way to Paris. Oof. So it was Phoenix to New York and then New York to Paris. But so we were tired. We were all scrubbed out. We were in our airplane comfy clothes and Crocs, and so we were comfy.
Okay.
The lady walks around the desk and she just looks at our Crocs, and she's in high heels, and everything is so fancy.
I could already picture it. It's like a big ass grand hotel. Like everyone's wearing suits, and you come in with Crocs, and you're always in a room
over there in a t-shirt. There was nobody there that wasn't. The females were all wearing dresses and heels, and all the males wearing button-ups, and there I was in a t-shirt, jeans, and Crocs. Yeah. And the lady came around the desk and just looked at our feet, and me and Karen just looked at each other like, why'd she look at us like that?
She's like, American?
Yeah. How did you know?
Was it the Crocs?
The Crocs that gave it away.
I've been meaning to get Crocs. People keep saying they're comfy. Are they?
Dude,
No, I don't even wear mine.
Are they?
You don't wear your Crocs? Man, it's
because it has fur in it.
Oh,
my
no.
feet get sweaty.
Yeah, no, I mean for the winter, yeah,
Yeah.
but you got to get the regular ones. They are very, very comfy. I remember I would make fun of Karen for wearing them, but then she got me a pair and I can't go back.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like Uggs. They're ugly as shit, but once you wear them, they're comfy.
How's
as shit.
Uggs?
Uggs?
You don't know what Uggs are?
No.
They're like boots.
They're like
snow
those-
boots.
Are they?
Yeah, they were like the typical like the stereotypical like white girl attire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Starbucks
okay, yeah.
Uggs
I know what
and-
you're talking about.
And
Well, okay, I still think Crocs are ugly as shit.
They,
right?
They are. They
I'm
are.
not gonna disagree with you.
But people keep telling me they're super comfy, and I'm like, your feet stink. Like, don't look at me. But they're like, try it, and I'm like, maybe. Like, should I?
Yeah, you definitely should. Not Eddie's Crocs. Don't get
No,
get
not
the,
Eddie's
It's
Crocs. No.
behind you.
They really.
Oh,
are
they
really-
do got fur. What the fuck?
No wonder it smelled a little funny over here.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, those I probably wouldn't get like those furry ones because it's too hot to wear them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
I
only
think
wear
it
'em,
was
like-
it was a Christmas gift.
But did you wear them like in the winter?
Like one time.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get any of the buttons that you could throw on them?
Because I'm
The
not gonna
gibbets.
I'm not gonna be wearing it often.
I want to see you wear Crocs more often.
I'm not-
I feel like you could pull it off.
He says you should get Crocs. I say you shouldn't.
You say I shouldn't?
No.
What?
Why not? Why not?
They're just ugly as shit.
They are
I don't
ugly as
care
shit.
that
Yeah,
they're-
but you wear them at your house, like
Maybe to the
slides.
gym too, you know? Because people wear them with like long socks, right? It's kind of a
Yeah.
style.
yeah, but I wouldn't wear it to the gym.
No?
No.
Oh, okay, wait. I just remembered. So while you're traveling, right? We're all relatively the same size here. How do we compare to the rest of the world? Are we really short or are we
Yeah, Europeans are very tall.
really?
Yeah, like we went to Italy, Greece, and Paris. We went to Turkey for a little bit.
Jesus.
But yeah, they're all really tall. And like, I mean, we're just short Mexicans, so
Yeah.
I guess that's just in our genes. But yeah, everybody's so tall.
I'm kind of scared to travel because I've already had foreigners like who moved here ask me like, "What the hell are you?" Like, because I look Mexican and I kind of look native, but then some people said that I look like an off version of white, and I'm like, "What the
An
fuck?"
off white.
Yeah, like
An eggshell white.
like a distant an eggshell white. like a distant European or something with a tan, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell does that mean?
I wouldn't be able to, like, if I didn't know you were Mexican, I probably wouldn't be able to.
like because
tell.
we're in Arizona, so we assume everybody's Mexican,
Yeah.
right? But like if I go to like I don't fucking know, Canada, they'll be like, "What the hell are you?"
Yeah, like, where are you from, buddy?
Yeah, like I
Where
had.
you from, eh?
Please don't start that again.
Yeah. We're gonna go the whole episode with that Canadian.
He used to have this really annoying Canadian accent, but it was funny as shit.
I
at the
can't
same
do it
time.
anymore. I just say a boot a lot.
Yeah, he
A
would
boot?
be.
What are
Oh.
you talking about?
What?
And then
What are you
eh.
talking
He'd
about?
throw that at the end of
Yeah.
everything. But like, I had a woman from Nigeria, right? Straight out of Nigeria, shaved head, everything. Super super thick accent. I was doing something for work, and she came up to me, and then she goes, "What are you?" But yeah, but I understood what she meant because she had like broken English, and I'm like, "Oh, I think I'm Mexican, and I got a little bit of
I
this." A little
think?
bit.
I think
Well, I don't
might
know.
see it.
'Cause I
That's
asked
at least
my-
what my mom told me.
I asked my family, and they're like, "Well, your tata's tata came from here, but your mom's nana's boyfriend something, like it's all over the place, so I don't know what the fuck I am." And then she was like asking me, and I was like, I don't know. And then she started touching my hair because she said she
What the fuck?
She said- yeah, I didn't
I didn't
tell
know
you
that part.
she said, "I've never seen hair like yours before," and that's when it was like more afro-ish.
Yeah.
You do have natural curls?
Yeah, it was
Damn.
like it's natural curly, but when I don't take care of it, it just kind of bundles together like a bird's nest, right? Or people call me broccoli head too. So like she was all touching it. She's like, "What the hell are you?" And she's like looking down at me, and I'm staring up at her.
She's petting you
Yeah. Like a dog, and I'm like, I don't know. So
Oh
like
my God.
I'm really curious to travel just to like experience like people's reactions, you know? It kind of sounds conceited, but I'm just curious.
Yeah. I definitely get you.
Other than that first lady, was there anyone giving you like judgmental looks or like being judgmental in general?
Not really. Like everybody kind of keeps to themselves, and that's one really cool thing about like European culture, is that everybody just kind of minds their own business. Like you're at the store or you're on the subway, and everybody just has their earphones in and they're walking about doing their own thing. They don't really care about you or
Really?
anything else.
I was gonna ask because I know people say that like, you know, London and Paris and all these big capitals of the world have like a lot of crime, and you have to be careful when you go out there. Like, did you experience that at all, where you felt like you had to be on guard in a sense?
Yes. Even when you get on the subways, it on the PA system, it literally says watch for pickpockets. And
Really?
I didn't personally see anybody getting robbed or anything like that. The worst thing we saw was we were getting close to the Eiffel Tower, and there's a lot of people around there that have like a big ass batch of Eiffel Towers and like little toys and whatever.
Oh yeah, and the
okay.
coat pocket.
Yeah, and in the coat pocket
Yeah.
they have like blankets and stuff. And Karen was like, she was like, should we be careful? Like, because they kept on coming up to us, and we'd be like, no good, no, like we don't.
Oh, they're trying to scam you.
Yeah, exactly. They were trying to scam us, and like I was like we're good. Like as long as like we keep our distance, we're fine. I was like, what are they gonna do? Run away with our stuff with everything that they're carrying? And
That's true.
literally 2 minutes later, I could hear like jingle bells, and it was like 10 of them running away while the cops were chasing them.
Carrying people's stuff.
Yeah, carrying their things and whatever they might have stolen. It was insane. It was just a crazy coincidence that I said, no, babe, we're fine. And
You're like, you turned around right afterwards. You're like,
yeah,
I guess we do have to be on guard.
yeah. And after that, I was like, okay, well, maybe we should be a little more careful. But yeah, the cops were like on bicycles, and
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That
They
is
showed
very
that movie.
intimidating.
yeah.
Cops on bikes.
It's intimidating because they're fit. That
That's
means you're
true.
not getting
Yeah,
away.
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
You try running, they'll catch you on the bike, and even if they don't got a bike, they're catching your ass.
Yeah,
you know?
and it looked like they weren't even trying their hardest, but they were hauling ass. I saw them catch one guy for sure.
Jesus.
But they are fit.
Man, but see that kind of thing is a thing I think about, oddly enough, like when I'm traveling, right? Because being short definitely plays into it. And if I'm gonna be traveling with like my future girlfriend or something like that, like I want to be able to know that no matter where we go, I can protect her. Because oddly enough, it reminds me of Andrew Tate, because he's one of those people that actually speaks out about that kind of stuff. And he's like, you know, these cities are dangerous. Like you got to be ready. You got to
Yeah.
be like fighting. And it sticks with me. So I'm like, if I ever go to this city, I'm like, where are the places it's gonna happen? How am I gonna defend myself? You know?
Yeah,
So,
and I feel like that's one thing that's not talked about enough, and that's one of the struggles of being a guy too is that
Yeah.
you're constantly thinking, like, especially if you're with your lady, you're like, what if something happens? Can I protect her? Am I big enough? Am I strong enough to?
Especially when you're small too. Like you're like, do I have what it takes? Like if a 6'5" guy, beefy as hell, comes up and like is trying to start shit while I'm out on vacation, and it's just me and my girl, like, am I gonna be able to defend myself, defend her?
Right.
You know? And you're always on the lookout for danger, and that's why I really want to travel. But at the same time, like, I know when I do, I'm gonna be like really careful,
a little bit on it.
That's the
Always
reason
on
why
edge.
I don't want to travel.
Is the unknowns.
Just the unknowns, and me being so paranoid. I feel like I'm gonna get robbed every corner I go to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like that here.
Yeah, I'm
That's
like that here. That's why I don't go out. That's why I stay
Yeah,
here. This is my safe haven.
Yeah, that's one thing that we talk about a lot is what if something happens while we're in a foreign country? And the first thing Karen said to that question is, well, if I'm gonna die, I'd rather die in Paris.
Which that's gotta give her credit for, honestly.
Yeah. I was like, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Wait, if you had to choose, what city are you choosing?
If I had to choose somewhere to die?
Yeah. I mean, she chose.
If I had to choose a city to die in, I would probably choose Italy because I would rather have a big bowl of pasta in my belly when I'm dead.
Ooh.
Leave it for the person doing the autopsy.
Is Italy the favorite spot you've ever gone to?
I feel like each place has their. I don't want to put a favorite on any of them because I think back to a certain memory and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely my favorite place, and then I think back to the other place and oh, this is my favorite place. But Italy definitely had the best food, hands down,
really?
Out of any place. Yeah, it was weird though because you know how they say like Paris is like a capital for like
love.
good food. And,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say love.
yeah, well,
yeah,
love
love.
too, yeah. But like they say, there's a bunch of good food and things like that. But I guess we went to the wrong places that we didn't really have any like awesome meals and
You were
Nothing
having
that stood
snails,
out.
huh?
snails. No, we didn't. Or beef tartare.
Oof. Beef tartare. What the hell's beef tartare?
It's just like raw ground beef in like a patty form and like.
Ugh.
You,
Let me
you should
look
look up a picture of it. Yeah,
French are so weird with their food sometimes.
I think they eat like horse meat too. Maybe.
Oh,
Oh, there's also frog legs.
ew! They
I always
like
wanted to
in
try
the
that. I always
restaurants.
wanted to try it
You want to try frog legs?
Yeah.
What?
because it's popular in the South.
South.
Why do you
where?
want it?
Not South America, South U.S.
The southern state.
like Louisiana.
Why do you want to be
Alabama.
like those people?
I don't know.
You know the reputation they have,
Oh,
right?
this-
Ew! What the fuck? Is that just a
That's-
raw egg? It's a
that's
raw egg
beef.
on raw beef. How the fuck are they not dying?
Damn! Imagine the diarrhea.
Imagine the salmonella.
Yeah,
Salmonella,
the salmonella.
How are they not dead?
Oh, I don't
Disgusting.
know.
Like, how do they come up with this shit? Oh, have you ever been to England?
England, I haven't.
Dude, I really want to go.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Like
What place would you like to go next?
we're thinking about going to Geneva, which is in Switzerland, but it's like literally right next to France. Not for any specific reason, but just because it's affordable with the amount of points that we have.
Mm.
But somewhere I would want to go. Probably England.
England?
Just to see.
Dude, I've always wanted to visit. Like, I joked earlier, but I do feel like some part of my family has come from there because I just felt this connection to it. You know, I want to
Yeah.
be in the pubs. I want to see the culture. I want to try the shepherd's pie. Like everything about their culture and everything surrounding it just fascinates the hell out of me. And something about those rolling green fields, it just makes me want to go there so bad.
Hell
you know?
yeah, yeah, and that experiencing the culture in the different places is what makes it special. Like when we go somewhere, obviously everything is schedule wise is in regarding to the travel has to be perfect. But once we're there for in each city for like 5 to 7 days. We don't have any plans.
Oh, I was
whatsoever.
gonna ask. So you just go with the flow type of thing?
Yeah, we just got lost in the cities and end up in places we didn't know about, and we just get lost. Like my favorite place to get lost was Venice, because there's so many little paths and it's so easy to get lost. But there's really good food if you're hungry and lost.
Is it like, can you feel like the culture there, the history, like walking through the streets?
Yeah, you definitely can. It's a whole different vibe, if you want to say. But it could be the company as well.
Yeah, it's true. If you're going with the wrong kind of people, it's just gonna ruin the whole trip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, that's fucking bad. Let's go on a trip, Eddie.
I'm okay.
Come on, please.
I'm okay.
Would you want to go to Scotland or Ireland?
Scotland.
I would. I've seen so many beautiful pictures of both, and there's so many. I think Ireland has a bunch of castles. I think Scotland has a bunch of castles.
I think it's Scotland that has a lot of castles.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of those UK countries, they have the castles still.
That's so awesome. Like,
And then I think like, well, I think like Italy and some of those other like Spanish countries have some form of castles, but they're not the same degree, and they're always like well hidden, you know?
yeah,
Like you have to go deep into the country and stuff.
yeah.
Have you been to Asia yet?
Asia? No.
Oh,
Would you
man.
want to go like Tokyo?
I would. I would want to go to Japan. Just I love steaks, and I love like anything to do with steaks.
You
so
want that Wagyu
I
steak?
want that Wagyu. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I want to try it so bad. Like, I haven't heard one bad thing about it, and it's only like, oh, it's so delicious, it melts in your mouth with flavor and things like that. So I want
that Japanese one too, the authentic. Oof.
Yeah, and like if you get something imported here, you're paying like $300 for one steak, just for a raw steak that's not even cooked. So I want to go there to try some fresh Wagyu.
Dude, more than anything, I'm kind of a weeb. At least I used to be. And I always wanted to visit Japan just because of the anime and the games and stuff like that.
Right.
But now as I'm getting older and I feel more disconnected from that, I want to go to see the culture and the food, especially because Japan looks like it has some of the most amazing food around, you know?
Yeah, all the ramen and
The
and things like
udon,
that.
the
Soy
fucking-
sauce.
The
soy
soy
sauce.
sauce.
Dude, the white
soy-
rice too.
Yeah.
The white rice. But like,
the orange chicken.
isn't that Chinese?
He's listing off the panda
I
menu.
know. Now I'm gonna want panda.
We just had panda last night.
But like, you know, I see things like that. Like, I don't have TikTok or anything, but sometimes I'll see one of those videos pop up of like them showing the food, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that takoyaki looks so bomb, or like that udon they were showing looks so good, and I really just want to like try it, you know?
Yeah, and that's what gets you is the food. Is you wanna experience that
That oomph.
yeah that that you can't get here. Like you could eat Japanese food here, but
It's not Japanese food.
yeah, it's not gonna be the same. It's definitely not gonna be the same. Just like any food, it's not gonna be the same. Like Mediterranean food here compared to like Greece and Turkey is nothing. They're not similar at all.
Really?
Like they're both it's very delicious here and it is very delicious over there, but it's just not.
It's not the same because
Yeah.
I mean they're not using the same oils. It doesn't have the same atmosphere to it. Like
Yeah, exactly.
at some point it's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
How many fast food restaurants did you guys see that you typically see here?
Oh, so we kind of made it a goal to try to hit every McDonald's in every country that we could.
Really?
And yeah, so there wasn't any Taco Bells over there. Sadly, I love Taco Bell.
Sadly?
Yeah.
Sadly. I'm
You guys, I'm
surprised.
guessing you guys don't like Taco Bell.
I only like the real local tacos, but that's it. And past that, I'm not gonna eat Taco Bell.
I don't like anything from there, honestly. Yeah. I tried all
guys.
the wraps and stuff. I'm just not a big fan. Like it just tastes too artificial for me.
Yeah, I can't deny everything tastes exactly the same, just in a different.
Even in
package.
like the McDonald's over there.
Oh no! Sorry, I was talking about Taco Bell, but
Oh.
the McDonald's. So we talked about this, and they were lacking something. They did not taste as good, but I'm assuming it's all the artificial and bad
Yeah.
things that we have here that make it so delicious.
Mm.
But yeah, France had potato wedges at their McDonald's.
I was gonna ask that because
Really?
I know that McDonald's in like European countries they add their own stuff.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah, and they have like a crap ton of pastries, like very delicious looking pastries
I
at
did
the
see that,
McDonald's.
yeah.
And they had a Big Mac, a chicken Big Mac, so it wasn't just the beef, it had the
Wait,
chicken.
it was
in it.
chicken?
Yeah, chicken Big Mac.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That actually sounds good.
Yeah, so we tried a couple of the McDonald's. We tried one in Italy had these like pizza bites that were kind of
What?
like the Tostinos, the like the little balls with the cheese and the thing inside.
Really?
They had those. They were all right. But yeah, we tried to hit up every fast food we could. I think they have KFCs a lot over there.
Really?
What about Burger Kings and Arby's?
I didn't see any Arby's. We did eat at a Burger King in Versailles. They have a lot of different things on the menu. I wouldn't say it tastes delicious, but like, I mean, it's fast food.
So tying into that, did you notice that people were like more healthy over there, more fit? Because I know they say America is one of the most obese countries. Like, did you see that like walking around?
Yes and no. I wasn't looking for it, but thinking back, I didn't see any like
Overly
obese
large
people. But that's one very cool thing about it is that when we were headed over there, we were like, okay, if we're gonna stay there for a month, we're gonna be eating a crap ton, so we're gonna come back a little heavier. But no, I think we lost weight for even.
Really?
Yeah, we lost weight even eating entire pizzas to ourselves. Like, we ate so much. Like, that's all you do on vacation is just walk around and eat.
Yeah, basically.
And we came back. Well, I'm not gonna say came back lighter, but
you didn't come back super fat.
yeah. So it's because when we hit the cruise our last week in Europe, we were in a cruise, and it was I forgot what the company was, but it's all like Americanized food, and that's when we started like gaining all our weight back on the last week that we were there.
Shit.
Is eating on the cruise ship, and so everything up to the cruise ship, like we felt amazing. Like we were a little less heavy, but up to the cruise ship, that's where we
That's where it
kind
all
of
fell apart.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we started getting all like bubble guts and gas.
The diarrhea's coming back.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't have that issue up until we got to the cruise ship. So
That's fucking wild. Because like you see the videos of like when they compare like the McDonald's here to the McDonald's there and like what they're eating over there.
yeah,
But then like I guess you actually got to experience it. Like you felt different over there. You know?
yeah, and it was with all the food. Like we ate a lot of everything, and we never felt like I would finish a whole pizza by myself, and they were like a size of a Little Caesars pizza, and
And
like,
you didn't feel bad about yourself because you just ate the entire fucking pizza?
No, I felt happy. I felt super happy.
He was like, "This is perfect right
yeah,
now."
there was this one pizza in this town called Mestre that was it's by Venice, and it was the absolute like best pizza I've ever had in my life. It was
Really?
cheese with baked ham, and it was
Well, when you stopped
so
off at
good.
New York, did you try any of their pizza?
I didn't surprisingly, and I've always wanted to try New York pizza because everybody says New York pizza's very good. But no, usually when we stop in New York, it's
Just connect flights?
yeah, we're not there for more than like 12 hours. But we made it a tradition to get a dirty hot dog
Really?
every time we're there. Yeah,
Dirty hot dog.
it's like just the hot dogs that are there like in Times Square.
Oh, okay.
Like the cart ones?
yeah, the cart ones. They're
Yeah.
not dirty.
But
like-
they're dirty.
They're dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dirty hot
water
dogs.
hot dogs. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. Okay, this is a question for me because I'm a little curious, right? I have an insane fear of heights, and it always makes it hard when I travel. Because like I went to Vegas recently, and I wasn't expecting the amount of bridges there. Because have you been to Vegas?
Yeah.
So you know those like little overpasses, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but every single time I got on there, my palms would get all sweaty, and I was dying. Yeah.
That's
And there's nothing but drunk people around me, so they're all bumping into me, and I'm fucking freaking out.
He's there white knuckling the
Yeah.
rails.
And so like I was there with my family, and I was like grabbing onto my brother, and I'm like, "Yo, just walk. I'm holding you. Like I'm freaking out right now." And then he's all, "Get off me, bro! You're making me look gay." And I'm like, "Shut the hell up! We gotta keep going, don't we?"
Please help me. Please help.
Yeah, because I'm looking like if I don't go on this bridge, I'm gonna have to walk 3 blocks that way, then turn left and come all the way back. And
Get a
then,
light.
yeah, they're gonna have to wait for me. I was like, "Fuck that!" So I'm just holding on to him, and I'm shaking. But like, is there a lot of that out in like Europe and these other countries?
Yeah, in Venice there was a lot of bridges.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But it's because-
Cancel.
Yeah, all right.
Isn't it because like the roads are like water? Like
Yeah, so there's no roads. in like the main part of Venice. It's all like water taxis, and we saw an ambulance and police on the
Really?
in the river. Yeah, like
They had like
you seen
little
that?
lights.
Were they holding the siren?
No, the boats had all the lights and
okay.
everything. It's all set up for water. But yeah, there's tons of bridges in Venice.
But
are you-
like high ones or like those like little ones that you see like in
I
the
would say they're
movies?
probably. Well, there's some high ones and there's some little.
Son
ones.
of a bitch.
Yeah, so you're gonna get all kinds of fear.
Well, that always makes it hard for me to travel, but I've learned to just kind of deal with it. And it sucks that I stopped smoking weed recently because I feel like that would like help me calm down, like while I'm crossing. At least take a little puff, then walk.
Or it could make it worse too.
It might, maybe, because then I'd be tripping. I look over, I'm like, oh god, I'm dying.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it. God take
Yeah.
me. But that's like these are the things I think about. Like people are like, oh, I want to go see the Louvre. I want to do this. I want to go do that. And I'm like, who am I fighting? Where are the heights at? Like it's like
Who am I fighting?
those are the things I'm
That's
worried
your first
about.
question on
Yeah.
the checklist. Who
Like,
am I
where's the
fighting?
danger? Where are the heights? Like, I need to know how safe I'm gonna be at any given time.
Yeah,
Where's the food?
Are you scared of like height when you're on an airplane?
No, ironically enough, like airplanes don't freak me out. It kind of reminds me of roller coasters in a sense. So like, when you hit turbulence and it starts like dipping a little bit, I'm just like, oop, there's a drop. Oop. But aside from that, like I'm chill.
Yeah.
But like if I get on the floor and then I have to walk up a flight of stairs, I'm like, fuck you, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That freaks me out. I don't know why.
I'm not scared of heights in planes either, but I am scared of like ledges, like
Oh, me too.
just
me too.
that, like the visual of the distance that's from you on the ledge and to the bottom of the cliff.
Like
It just gives you the
in the back of your mind, you're like one gust of wind and I'm gone.
yeah. One gust of- you're like, don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
Yeah.
And then there's that weird temptation to like get close
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
edge. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Like I see a ledge far off in the distance, I start walking the other way.
Because the temptation is
Yeah.
Question yourself, can I fly? Let's test that out.
No.
Can I fly?
Because I think at one point everyone's just thought of like falling off, right?
Yeah.
Or like jumping off and you're like, ugh, and then you
Yeah.
like kind of freak yourself out, right?
Yeah, what would it feel like?
Like, would I just die instantly or would I feel it? Or
Yeah, there's a point where you won't feel nothing for sure. That's guaranteed.
like it sucks because even like if I go to a mountain, right? I go to the top of a mountain. If I happen to look up, just knowing that I'm that high up, I sink. I fucking fall and I start getting freaked out.
Even by a mountain?
Yeah.
What?
So if I'm in that like, you know how there's the little peak, but then there's that like flat part where you can walk up to that ramada.
Yeah.
So if I'm in that area, I'm good. But if I look up, I start freaking out. If I walk to the edge, I start freaking out. And it doesn't help that he almost fell off the mountain and he told me a story.
What?
So now that's what I think about. I'm like, if one of these rocks slips, I'm dead.
I'm
I'm just
all
tumbling
the way
all the
down.
way down. I'm gonna land on Mission Street. Everyone's gonna hit me as they're passing over.
So
But-
how did you fall?
It was my first time at Mount Lemon. It was like
The first time and you fell?
no. So it was like probably like a few years ago. I was with my brother and my sister-in-law, and you know how halfway up the mountain there's that rest stop where all the bathrooms are. There's usually bikers right there. So we get off, use the restroom, we start walking around. I go do my own thing, and I see my brother and my sister-in-law like near a ledge, like they're hanging their feet off the ledge. And first of all, they're fucking idiots for doing that. and I was looking down at them, and for me to get to them, I have to go down the steep ass hill.
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling the fucking fear. My hands are sweaty.
And I was looking around like, is there any easier way to get down there? There wasn't, so I just started going down, and somehow I was picking up speed, and I was running down the hill.
Oh my god!
I was running
coming,
down.
guys.
Yeah, I was running down the hill. My brother happened to turn around, and he tackled me so I won't
So
fall
you
off
wouldn't
the
fall off
Yeah.
the edge. So he saved your life.
Yeah, basically.
Damn. And all you wanted to do was hang out down there.
He was just like, "Oh, brother," and then next thing you know, he's getting tackled and fucking he's almost dying.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I know that story, but when he tells it, I just picture the visual and I can see the drop, and I just freak myself out.
Yeah,
Like
I-
VR. Ugh.
Yeah. My nephew has an awesome VR, and he hooked it up with the flight simulator, and it's so badass because you look around and like I have I have the flight simulator on my Xbox, and well, it's cool to use it in the remote and everything, but it's so different when you
Could look
Because it
around.
feels like you're there, right?
yeah, and all the buttons in the planes work, and it's just makes it a whole different experience.
I just want to take a second to say I appreciate you because you make my job so easy because you're just bringing up the subjects that I was going to bring up and I don't have to find transitions. So how did you start learning how to fly? What made you want to do that?
That's a very, very long story. So
We have time.
We do have to.
cool. So I've always been interested in like airplanes since I was little and things like that, but I never really looked into how to be a pilot and all that while I was in school. So once I graduated, I was like, okay, I really do want to do this, and I started looking into it, and it's godly expensive, and the rentals on an airplane are like $160 an hour.
Oof.
And you need an average to get your first pilot's license is $60. I'm sorry, 60 hours of flight time. So
Wait, 60 times 160. I'm doing that real quick.
yeah, go ahead. And then so that's one.
It's almost 10 grand. It's
Holy
9,600.
That's just for the airplane rental. You still have to pay the instructor another $60 an hour. Obviously, it depends on where you're going, but you multiply that, and that's just your first license. So I was like, how can I do this? I have no money. I'm fresh out of high school. I have no credits. What do I have? I have this blue Mustang that's sitting there. It's beautiful, and I don't want to get rid of it.
No.
Oh no.
Did you sell?
So I see this airplane on Craigslist, and I email the guy, and I'm like, hey, so I have this 66 Mustang. Would you be willing to trade? He calls me, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. So there I am. I think I was 18, 19 years old, making a deal for an airplane. And I tell my parents, I'm like, hey, mom, dad, I think I can possibly get an airplane if I trade the Mustang. And the look that they gave me, it was just like, what are you even talking about? Like,
They're like, all 19-year-olds are coming in like, hey, can I have like $20? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. You're like, I'm about to buy an airplane.
yeah, what do you guys think? And I wasn't asking for permission, but I was asking for permission. Like, I feel like I was gonna do it anyway, but I just wanted to know that they were okay with it. But they were mostly confused about what I was doing. So fast forward, I make the deal with the guy. I drive the car to Ajo, Arizona. We fly it back, and yeah, that's how that
Dude,
started.
so he piloted it back and you got to experience it like
yeah,
that?
yeah. So I left the Mustang over there, and I came back with him in the airplane.
How the hell did he get back home?
That's a good question.
So Karen drove with my brother and me all the way up with the Mustang, and then they drove back while I flew with the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they drove back in one of his cars
and then he
left
drove
the
back.
U-Haul,
Yeah.
and then he could, yeah. So
It's
it was
a very complicated version of that lion question, you know? The lion, the goat, and the fucking wolf or some shit.
What the hell are you talking
You don't know about that?
Do you
No,
know?
man.
Do you know
You
what?
do know?
No.
Okay. But it's like you had to get all the animals to the other side of the river without them eating each other. And it's like
okay.
that.
yeah, something like that, and that ties into all the travel, all the travel expenses. How do we make all that fit? I think I just like doing things like that. I think I should probably be like a travel agent.
Dude,
Oh,
you can make a lot
yeah.
off of that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I got the airplane there, and the airplane needed a lot of repairs, and I already didn't have any money to do all those things, and the flight school there, they had a mechanic named Ben, and he was the owner of the flight school, and he listed out all these things that needed repairs, and in just labor, it was probably like $10,000 worth of labor. And where the hell is a 19-year-old gonna get 10 grand? So
Where did you get the thing?
That's we're getting to that. So I started. He was like, to lessen the cost, you can help me with the repairs of your airplane, and I'll charge you less. And just like the other situation, he ended up liking how I worked, and he gave me a job. So
Really?
here I am
Fuck.
working at the flight school, working on airplanes, and those $10,000 in just labor ended up being I think he charged me like $500.
Holy
What?
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, he's fucking finessing people out here. You're like, you're so charismatic. You're getting all these people to stop charging you and then give you money on top of it.
And then give me a job.
Yeah, they're giving you a job.
He's the Riz master.
You're the Rizzler.
No, I've just been very lucky with the people I've met. But yeah, I'm super grateful because I don't know how I would have done it without him. And also the flight instructor there, he gave me a gift I can't forget. So this is a whole other story. So when that plane landed, we landed it at Tucson Airport, and there was a flight school there, and I called them and said, "Hey, is it okay if we train in my airplane?" They said yes. I get there, and it's a no now. So there I am stuck with the owner or ex-owner of the plane, and they were like, "No, we can't fly with this airplane. It needs all these repairs," and it did, but the things that they were pointing out wasn't like they were pointing out paint chips and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So I don't know why they told me that they would train in an airplane, and then show up and say that they wouldn't, even if it was repaired. So there the plane was stuck. The guy went back to his house. The plane was stuck there, and they were charging me every day that it sat there. I think it was like
Oh my God.
$50 that it sat there every day. So here I am, not knowing what to do. Then they towed it.
How do you tow a plane?
You
That's
hook
exactly
you,
what I'm thinking.
So you hook it up to these things called what are they called? Tugs. So they
okay.
tug the plane. Yeah. So I contacted another mechanic that was around Tucson Airport. They towed it over there, and they said that the battery looked like it had been drained, like purposely drained, like the fluid in the battery looked like it was removed. So somebody
Was tampering with the plane.
tampered with the airplane in this secure area. I don't want to say
No, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good.
yeah, I don't want to say what might have happened there. But anyway, back to the flight instructor. He flies my plane for free, sight unseen, all the way back to the flight school in Ryan Airfield. So huge help from him. I think he's like 80 some years old.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's still flying. I should probably reach out to him. But yeah, so he helped me out tons by just moving the airplane because I was stuck paying days rent each day.
I'm just picturing the visual because I'm pretty sure I know how your plane looks. It's like white and red, right?
Right.
And so I'm just picturing that like big ass plane being pulled on the road.
Yeah.
And you, like I'm like I would have maybe passed by it one day. I'm like, who the fuck's towing a plane? And not realizing it's you. And you're like, oh, I got a new plane. Like,
well, that's the thing is that it didn't reach public roads. Like the other shop was within the airport, but it was just on the other side of the airport. So it was all within airport.
Oh, okay.
Airport boundaries. But it's funny that you say it was a big plane because compared to everything else, that's like the
Oh, yeah.
smallest plane you can get.
like I know it's like a super like small like private plane type of thing, but compared to those huge big ass ones that'll fly like 400 people. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But just like compared to a car, it's
Yeah,
like twice
yeah,
the
it's-
size of a car, and then you just see it being tugged down the middle of the road. You're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, and I also I met a lot of cool people working there at the flight school. There was this one lady, her name was Apple. I don't know if that was her real name, but
That's what everyone called her.
yeah, that's what everyone called her, and she was from Alaska. And she had this
Oh.
she had this airplane that was painted like a cow, like it had cow prints
Oh, that's
all
sick.
over it. I think I have a picture of it somewhere.
That's fucking tight.
Yeah, but she was so awesome because she would just be like, "Hey, I'm flying to Sedona or would you like to go to Sedona for breakfast?" And yeah, we just show up at the airport. We fly to Sedona, have breakfast at the diner that's at the airport right next to the runway.
Mhm.
Take a little hike, and then fly back. And we're here before 2 p.m. And
Holy shit,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
yeah, it's so awesome that people in aviation just want to share the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was awesome getting to meet a bunch of different people there.
Okay, real quick, I want to do a side tangent. Did you get the pilot jacket and the aviator glasses?
I didn't.
What?
So I never got my license. I ran into some issues with the FAA, which is the aviation government, if you want to call it. Yeah. So back in like 2015, 2016, I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping, and so the doctor prescribed me these sleeping pills. The sleeping pills ended up being groundworthy, which means you can't take them if you're flying. So this turned into a whole spiral of a mess. That
Like trying to argue the point.
yeah. So I had an entire plane at my disposal, and I could not fly it because they would not let me. So that turned into a whole thing that I've paid more money in trying to fix that issue than it would have cost me to just get the license itself.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I've paid so much money to they've made me get sleep studies. They've made me see a bunch of doctors.
What?
And the sleep studies and everything comes out positive, and
They're still giving you shit for
yeah,
it?
they're still giving me shit, and they gave me a 2-year period where I have to go see this FAA person, and we're almost at the end of the 2 years, but it sucks even more because they're so dated in the way that they do things. They do everything by snail mail, by USPS, sorry, in letters, and nothing's through an email or a phone call. So every time they would request information from me, I send it out. It takes like 3 months to get back, and it's just a back and forth. And
that fucking sucks.
so I've been fighting with the FAA for 5 years now, since 2018.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I have not received my pilot's jacket and aviators yet.
No, but have you still been able to practice in the meantime?
Here and there, I think the last time I practiced was on my birthday, like 2 years ago. Now I have to rent out a plane because I sold the red one. Because,
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I wasn't able to fly, so I was paying hangar space that for a plane that wasn't going to be used.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's been a rough road, but I mean,
It's been a rough road, but considering everything you've gone through and the fact that you're still willing to push through it, I mean, I know one of these days you're going to get behind that thing and then you're going to fly to like fucking Canada just for the hell of it.
yeah, and that was the great thing about having your own airplane, is that you can go wherever the hell you want. It's just like having a car. Obviously, not exactly.
No, but it's way better.
Yeah, you could head to wherever the hell you want. You could go to California for the weekend and park your plane at an airport. They just charge you to whatever amount, and that's what I was going for.
That's fucking cool though,
Yeah.
because like you're all, oh, my friend lives in like Ohio, or not Ohio. That's a godless state.
Wyoming.
Wyoming,
Yeah.
and you're like, let's go to Wyoming for the weekend, right? So
Yeah.
you just load up everything, you fill it up with gas, stop along the way, and then you get there, you hang out there. But like, instead of having to travel by car or like buy a commercial plane, like you can do it on your own and have more of an experience, which is fucking tight.
Yeah, it makes it so much better. It's much faster, and
In a sense, what I've gathered just from watching like your Instagram stories and your YouTube and just talking to you now, like you really, pardon my French, take life by the balls in a sense. Like you make those experiences, right? Like most people, especially I think in our generation, are just kind of satisfied living vicariously through others instead of having those experiences, you
Right.
know? They're like, oh yeah, I'm content watching YouTube all day or being inside or doing this. And they're like scared to dream. And then I look at someone like you and you're like, oh yeah, I bought a plane. I'm going over here. We just went to fucking Italy, and then I'm going to get back and work on this vintage car, and I have a YouTube channel. It's like so badass. Like in a sense, you're like living a movie, you know?
thanks, man. I'm flattered. But yeah, I try to go out and get what I want to get. Like nobody's gonna hand me an experience or something that I want. I try to live it up, I guess.
No, it's fucking cool, especially considering like you're the same age as us and you have way more stories now. And I'm like, holy shit, like I gotta catch the
Yeah,
fuck
you've
up.
been to like a lot of parts of Europe. I never been to fucking California.
You've never been to Cali? It's right next door.
He's like he's a
Yeah. We got to plan a trip right now.
Dude, I've been trying to get him to leave the fucking room, let alone leave the state. I'm like, Eddie, let's just go like down the road. No.
Like the furthest I've gone was the Grand Canyon. That's the furthest I've gone.
See, ironically enough, I haven't gone yet, but I'm planning a trip for it because when I go, I want to hit the Grand Canyon and Monument Valley because those are like beautiful.
Yeah.
I have actually never been to the Grand Canyon.
What?
Yeah.
See, now I'm flipping the tables on you.
Yeah.
Is it true that it looks fake?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a painting. It
Really?
looks like that. Like, you imagine that was a Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like.
I looked at it and I was like, that's not the Grand
I'm like
Canyon.
picturing a big ass painting.
No, but yeah, it looks fake. Like it looks like. Yeah, that's all I can say. It looks fake.
Okay, now the real conversation starts. This whole thing's just been a warm up.
It's
Okay,
been a lead
I'm
up,
just
yeah.
kidding. But I do got a question: is the Earth flat?
Oh,
You've traveled more than any of us, right? And we just had an episode where we were discussing this. People think that we live in a dome. People think that the Earth is flat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's the story behind that?
I want to know your first.
No, I don't. I think they're fucking idiots. Obviously, I don't believe in any of that shit.
Do you think it's flat?
well, I don't think it's flat, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is flat.
Like, there's that whole conspiracy that we have a giant dome surrounding the Earth.
Yeah.
And then, like, we're inside of, like, a spaceship or something, like a big-ass laboratory. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we would have been able to tell.
Yeah, I don't believe it's flat at all, one bit. Like, even when you travel on a commercial airline, you can see a little bit of the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how you would be able to see that if it was flat.
Plus, like, you could just kind of, like, it's weird to describe, but you can kind of see the atmosphere. Like, you can see the sky starting to change. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't look like how it looks to us on the ground. It starts to turn, like, hazy in
Yeah.
a sense.
Yeah,
Like, you could tell that you're going out of bounds. Like, you're going into space.
But would you be surprised if it is?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah, 'cause
who the
where-
fuck wouldn't be?
I wouldn't. I'm
where
like,
would
oh,
it-
it's flat. Oh, okay, cool.
Where would it end? Like, what is at the end?
Yeah, exactly. It would have gone back to the middle times where, like, we got to journey to the end of the Earth now, figure out what
We're
the
just
fuck's
gonna
going on.
fall out.
Fall off of it and see what's
Exactly.
what's on the
We're all
other
scared of
side.
fucking cliffs, so imagine getting to the end of the world and just like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. We're scared of cliffs and we're gonna fall off the damn. It wouldn't be the globe. We'd fall off the
surface.
surface. Yeah.
Plus, geologically, like, it would be windy as fuck over there. So if you got to the end, you'd be like trying to hold on, look over the edge.
But
and
would
shit.
it be windy if it would be out in space?
I
Or
don't-
would it be out in space?
Like, would it even be space? Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
Would it? Then our atmosphere would have to be squared.
Yeah,
Or
and
at
then like,
least
what?
oval.
What are we floating? Are we sitting on something?
What's
What-
under?
So I heard this theory that apparently we're we're on the back of a space turtle.
No, that's
Oh
Stephen
my.
King's thing.
What?
That's Stephen King's thing.
Oh.
Man, how do you keep getting these fictional things mixed up with?
No, because apparently, it was this stupid ass TikTok that intrigued me.
I
saying
blame
that,
TikTok.
that we're on the back of a turtle's shell because turtles have 13 spots on its shell and it has to deal with time. I don't know. It was a stupid ass fucking video. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
But I'm interested about the 13 spots. What is the 13?
Okay, so
have
they're
to do
basically
anything with?
saying instead of there being 12 months, there's 13 months because we're living on this turtle shell.
We're the last month.
No, I don't know what the last month is. I forgot what it said.
Yeah, how do they just create another month? You can't add days.
Oh,
you know?
it's because you know how with the months, the first part they get from Latin. So like, deci means 10.
Mhm.
So December's supposed to be the 10th month. May is supposed to be like the 8th month or like the 9th month or something like
So
that.
it's all misarranged.
Yeah. And then
Huh.
they're trying to. I wish I finished the video and I wish I could remember what the 13th month was, but it was basically supposed to be every month has 28 days, and the 13th month was I don't know what. Like it was so stupid. I had to.
Even he was like, "This is fucking dumb. I can't watch this."
Is it kind of like a leap year thing or
No. It was like they're saying that history has lied to us and shit like that.
History's always lying to us.
Yeah.
Even when we know the truth, we don't know the truth because
Yeah,
it's
not
always
the
one
absolute
perspective.
truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Wait, before we get too deep into this, should we do a quick ad break?
Yeah, because I need to go piss.
Okay, there we go.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
you're
don't pause
thirsty?
it. Do you have any waters?
I have waters. Do you have Prime? Do you own Prime?
Prime?
Prime.
What is that?
And this episode is brought to you by no one. You guys are so amazing that I wanted to give you a little break from all the W ads and just say thank you. If it wasn't for your guys' continuous support, we would not be here today, and I do not want to understate that. Eddie and I really appreciate you guys tuning in every week and sticking with us on this wild ride. I only ask that you rate the show on whatever platform you're listening to. But aside from that, thank you again. Love you. Welcome back. Angel asked me a question. Yeah, I quit smoking weed recently because I was starting to get like a dependency on it to an extent. I've only been smoking for about a year, but in that time, like I saw how much I was changing. Like I was forgetting a lot. I was becoming more lazy, more lethargic. I didn't want to work, and on top of that, it's just like it's kind of an expensive hobby. You know, I was getting the cartridges, which isn't as bad, but if you're getting like the actual flowers, you're spending $10 every single time you want to get high, and it only lasts for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, I don't want to be doing this all the time. It's fine if I do it occasionally, you know, maybe on a weekend, like kind of getting drunk type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't want to be doing it on the daily. Even if it did help me sleep and eat, like it was just too much. And plus the fact that I had to hide it from a lot of people made it even more stressful for me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck that. And then on top of that, I quit vaping around that time too, which sucks because now it's just like,
yeah. I was curious about that when you said you quit, because I was watching or when like how I said when Eddie said that you guys wanted to have me on, I went and started catching up on the podcast.
And thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, and I watched the some of the one where I believe you had smoked or something. And you were just rambling.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that's a prime example too, because a lot of times, like as good as I feel and as much as I can function, sometimes I do feel like I come off more as like a bumbling idiot a lot of the time, which can be funny, but at the same time, like in a sense, this is our legacy, right? People will look back on your YouTube channel or the show and they'll be like, that was them. And I don't want them to every time they look back just hear me go, peanuts are like crazy, huh? You know? I wanted to have more substance there, so I was like, I gotta chill out, and when I do it, more of like a weekend thing, like I said.
Yeah.
But have you ever experimented with it at all, or done anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He got really happy.
Is it okay? Is it a thing you're still doing?
I smoked before I got here.
Damn!
I'm just kidding.
See, because I was taking it to the extreme, but like I still, you know, I know a lot of people who smoke, and they have a much healthier relationship with it than me, because I have like an addictive personality. So if I let myself, I could get addicted to working or, you know, masturbating or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I got to be careful what I give myself, because then I lose touch of it, right?
Yeah. But I feel like every single person has like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, like a vice.
Yeah, a vice, and weed and smoking and things like that. It gets very, very weird because, like you say, you don't want to sound like a rambling idiot or whatever.
Yeah.
But that could also just be strictly only your opinion. Like when
Every time.
My brother.
like when I was listening to that podcast, I didn't feel like you were a rambling idiot or things like that. So
thank you.
I feel like so many people have that issue with smoking, is that they get too in their head, and I feel like it happens to everybody.
It has a very negative connotation, even though more people are open to it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I still enjoy doing it, but again, I have a lot of people around me who don't like it, or who are trying not to do it. And so the fact that I had to hide it changed the perception of it for me, because normally I would smoke, then come on here and I wouldn't feel any other way about it, right? But because I'm constantly having to hide it, it's constantly telling my brain like this is bad.
Yeah, it kind of puts that shame.
Yeah, and then I start overthinking the way I act, and then sometimes I would annoy the hell out of him because I'd be laughing at a lot of things he said, or I'd be doing things, and then I could tell he was getting annoyed, and I was like, I don't want to be like that, because it kind of happens to me when I'm drunk. If I drink too much, I start getting extremely extroverted.
Yeah.
And so I start doing really goofy things, and some people are like, oh, I love it, it's funny, like you make the party. But then I see videos of myself and I'm like, oh my god, did I really just fucking do that? I can't believe I just did that. And so I'm like, I need to find a good middle ground with weed. And so I'm giving myself like a couple months to just like let my memory come back first and foremost, and then redevelop my relationship with it a little bit.
Okay. Do you?
Nah, I don't even drink that much.
No? Some of the podcasts you guys drink.
Yeah, he drank once on the show, but like he's not a big fan of actually. Well, I'm not going to speak for you. Go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, I don't like drinking or smoking. I see no point in it.
Yeah.
Like especially smoking, I see no point with it.
There's a lot of points.
There's not a point. There's no point.
I tried to defend it, but that because that was my main vice, that's the one that really addicted me.
Like if you just want to get high just to feel good, that's stupid. You should rather do something else.
If you need that to feel good, then
yeah, he's my harshest critic too, so he really grounds me, and I'm like, fuck, if Eddie's upset at me, what am I gonna do,
Yeah.
But like if you do it, you do it well, but personally I wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about you? How long have you been smoking?
I think I started smoking right when it was like legal. That's when I never smoked in high school or middle school as some did.
Me.
You did.
I was a bad kid.
I never did. Mostly because of my parents. They would always
scare you?
Yeah, they would always scare the hell out of me. Oh my god, you're gonna end up on the streets if you take one single hit of the marijuanas.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of me too. I would see a lot of people that would smoke, and I didn't see much of. Like, I didn't really want to be around those kind of people. I don't want to say those kind of people, but
no, especially like in high school, like they always had. It sounds fucked up because now that we're adults, we can kind of understand how to have a relationship with weed. But in high school, it was always kind of like the delinquent kids and the ones that you didn't want to be involved with, right?
Yeah, and I didn't want that to be me, so I never did anything in high school. But like I said, I started smoking probably like when it became legal, probably like 2 years ago. But yeah, I
okay. What's your go-to? How are you smoking?
I like the convenience of rolling one.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a blunt or a joint?
What's the difference?
The small white ones?
I never knew the difference.
The small white ones that look like cigarettes, or the big brown ones that rappers have?
The small white ones.
Okay, yeah, I like those too.
Yeah, it's because it's convenient and you just go ahead and do it. But I've had those same things. Oh, am I smoking too much? Oh, am I is it bad for me? Am I losing myself? Am I hurting my productivity? And I feel like everybody goes through those battles. It's just that kind of guilty pleasure thing.
You know what? You're making me feel good. I'm gonna buy weed on my way home.
I don't want to be the person that broke you.
No, it's not that. Like, one of my exes said it best because she had a really great relationship with weed, and she kind of opened my eyes to it. And she was like, we would hang out and she would offer it to me, and I'd be like, no, like I try not to because I had a family member who was really addicted to it. And then she goes, oh, and she goes, but why are you gonna let that stop you? And I was like, because he was addicted to it, like he almost went to jail before it. And she goes, yeah, I understand that, but he's his own person. You can't live your whole life like protecting everybody around you, because then you deprive yourself of experiences. Like if it's something that you enjoy doing and you want to do, then you should be able to do it and not feel guilty that somebody else did it, because they're their own person. They're going to make their own decisions.
That is very well said.
And I was like, fuck it. So, like we started getting high. Yeah. So she reintroduced it to me, and it was being around that kind of like personality who had like a great relationship with weed, it made it so much better because then we would just get blown and have fun.
Yeah.
We'd watch movies. I just start fucking eating everything in the fridge. Like, I enjoyed it.
Those munchies.
And then over time, like after we stopped talking, I was like, oh. And then the dark thoughts start coming back. They're like, you're gonna fuck up your life, blah blah blah. You're gonna get
100%.
addicted. And then the conversation still online and in person, like everybody's like, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, right? And I'm not judging Eddie here, but a lot of people have Eddie's mentality, and so like you'll tell them, and then they kind of like change the way they look at you, and I'm like, I don't care, but it does get to you in a sense, right? I don't need everyone to like me, but if I know everyone's like, you're smoking weed, it gets to you sometimes, especially when you're high.
Yeah, especially when you're high, because you do get like a little like sensitive and self-conscious at some points, but I can understand Eddie's point of view because I had that same exact mentality. I would frown upon people that would smoke and things like that. But I mean, that was a younger me, and I mean now that I do smoke, I can see both sides.
Yeah, I want to have a healthier relationship with it. So maybe soon, maybe in a couple of weeks, once I feel like I've cleansed or I got a little break, I might get back into it a little bit because I did enjoy just the relaxing part of it because like I said, I do have somewhat of an addictive personality, so my main drug is probably work. I'll work myself all fucking night, and I didn't even realize that he told me that I have like I'm a workaholic. I was like, no, I'm not. And then I would disappear for 12 hours and do nothing but write or edit, and he's like, Devin, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So it was a way for me to be like, okay, it's 8:00, time to clock out for the day, right?
Yeah.
And, take a gummy, smoke a little bit, and watch TV, and then enjoy myself.
Yeah.
And now it kind of sucks because ever since I stopped, I've been having a crazy insomnia. I haven't been eating, and I'm kind of stressed.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to figure out a way to navigate it. But I'm like, now reanalyzing, I'm like, why did I deprive myself of it? Because like, it's not like it was hurting my productivity. The show was still coming out every week.
Yeah.
I managed to write a lot in that time and publish some stuff. And I'm like, it wasn't really affecting me at all. And in some aspects it helped.
Yeah. And I've had moments like that where it does help, but it is very, very habit forming, I feel, to put it that way. Because say if you usually smoke after work, then that's kind of what you're gonna want to do for X amount of days until you don't, right? And
that was well said. Actually, habit for me. Yeah, the more you do it in a certain way, the more you're gonna want to do it that.
Yeah, and
way.
you end up like scheduling your days around it. Like, oh, I have to be done by this point. It's hard to say, but it is very habit forming.
No, I get exactly what you. Okay, let me ask you this: how do you consume it in your day-to-day life? Right.
We usually smoke at the end of the day, so I don't like to smoke during the day because then it will hurt your productivity.
Then you just become a lazy bum and you want to watch TV.
Yeah, and there's sometimes where I have. I'm just gonna speak for myself. Where I have. And sometimes it's nice and sometimes it isn't. But I mean, that's just kind of the risk you take. Like sometimes you're a little too distracted and you can't focus on what you're doing. But sometimes you just go with the flow. But yeah, so we usually smoke I usually smoke at the end of the day. And yeah, just have dinner.
It's
relax.
Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like the munchies too. I would kind of plan it like that too, because like my work schedule changes based off of what I'm doing that week or what we have for the show. So like last week we put out a bunch of long content and we put out a bunch of content. So I was pretty swamped and I still had it at that time. So I was like, at 8 p.m., that's why I try to cut myself off because it's usually the 12-hour mark. I'm like, that's when I stop. And I'm like, there should be food or I'll make food. And then by the time I'm eating, the munchies are starting to come in, and it's
you schedule
perfect.
it perfectly.
Yeah, like when it comes to time management with weed, I can meet my munchies and my food at the exact same time.
Yeah,
Yeah. But if I'm trying to plan a vacation to like Italy, I'm not gonna be able to do that shit.
Yeah. It's a it's a very open topic that there's so many aspects to the whole smoking and
But I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough to open up about it, because I feel like, you know, we as a community, as a society, we should be able to talk about it more so we can kind of develop some sort of standard, right? Because right now everybody's doing whatever they want, and then that's why we're getting judged, because some people are calm with it and some people are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And like, we need to have more of a conversation around it, you know?
And that sucks too, because where do you put that standard? What is smoking too much?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's different. It's got to be different for
And I wouldn't say
everybody.
like everybody needs to do it the exact same way, but to have some sort of conversation so you can kind of like, oh, this person does it like this person does it like that.
Yeah.
So you can kind of borrow elements of it, right?
Yeah, because a lot of the times most people are smoking, and like they're having an internal crisis of whatever. They're like, man, this is bad. Where you start feeling self-conscious or things like that, but they don't know that the person next to you that smoked is also feeling that way.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, like, everybody feels like they have to hide it, right? So nobody knows like how to smoke or how much to smoke, and so
Are my eyes red?
yeah, they're like,
notice.
like, so when you don't have that kind of information, like, you start to overthink everything. But like, if somebody who's maybe dabbling with it listens to this, they're like, oh, well, this asshole who's doing the podcast is like, he does it, you know, after work. That gives me, you know, Angel does it after work. Let me try doing that and see how that works, you know?
Yeah, and I understand you when you said you would try to hide it from people, because when I first started smoking weed, I still lived with my parents. I mean, I had my own job. I had my own money. Like I was kind of like, okay. But I would still be so scared to be high around my parents, and I would like hide or run to my room or stuff like that.
You just like look down the whole time. You're like, yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm okay, mom. Laters.
Carrying 2 big ass bags of chips.
Yeah. I'm just I'm gonna watch some TV. You know, it's been a long day.
And sometimes my dad would see me and he'd be like, "No munchies," but he would try to hint at munchies. So I'd be like, "Does he know?"
Did they know? Did they ever find out?
Hell yeah, they did. 'Cause we would hotbox the shed in the backyard.
Oh my god.
I had it set up nice in there too. I had like LEDs all around, the black lights, and I had this big ass you know when you walk into a convenience store and you see that big circle like fisheye mirror?
Oh yeah,
we had one of those in there.
Dude, that's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, it was set up for smoking.
And then all they hear is the reggae music and coffee, and they're like, what the hell's going on in there?
They're like, you guys were laughing all night.
That's definitely a way to get caught. And like, right now I still live with my parents, right? Because right after I broke up with my big ex, I was like, Mom, you know, and she was like, yeah, you can come back. And so I've been there since, and I still feel like that because none of them really know except for one of my siblings. And I'm like, you know, you can't tell them because everybody's gonna fucking kill me. Like, my dad is one of those old school Mexicans where mentality where he's just like, do not talk about it, don't bring it up, don't. If you even pass by someone that smokes weed, you're fucking dead type of shit. And I'm like, where was this mentality when, you know, what's his face was smoking every fucking day? Like, what the hell? He's doing it in his room. So like, I can't bring it up to them in a sense, right?
And it's crazy because little do we know what our parents did.
I know.
In like when they were our age, or they've lived an entire life before we were even on this earth, and like who knows what they did.
Yeah, I found out that my asshole of a dad was smoking every fucking day. I'm like, what the hell? But even still, he still doesn't know, because if he found out I'm dead, I wouldn't have nowhere to go. I'd be like, Eddie, can I live with you?
Then you guys would be sleeping.
Yeah, then we would share the fucking bed. But like with weed, I feel like you just kind of have to develop your own relationship with it, right? And then figure out what works for you. But something like vaping, I knew I had to quit that because one, the benefit versus the risk wasn't worth it, and then two, the dependency just skyrockets. Like with weed, it's more of like weekly thing, right? The more you use it, the more you kind of want to use it. Mm-hmm. But with vaping, you could start with like one puff, and then by the end of the week have your own pen.
Yeah.
Like it's super quick.
That's one thing I've never tried. I've never. Well, I guess I have tried it, but I've never really gotten into it. It's like nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't say it, Eddie.
I know he's all. I heard an N word. That was an N word. I'll just bleep it out so it sounds wrong.
No,
I never got into beep.
Bleep it like 4 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never tried like nicotine and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it specifically. I think just because like they say it opens up your synapses, so it helps your brain like process faster. And because I'm really creative in a sense, and I'm always trying to like work, it helped me with that. So ever since I was young, like I experimented with it really young on. I think the first time I tried vaping, I was like 12, and then I was trying cigarettes at like 13.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I stopped for a while, but then I picked it back up in high school, and it got really bad. Like I went from vaping those disposable like blue pens that some of my friends had to having a whole ass mod by the end of the month.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, and like I was basically putting all my part-time job money into that. And he remembers because I accidentally got him to vape once.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah, you explain it.
What
Funny.
do you mean? Here, suck on this.
Yeah, basically. So like we were out and something happened with the airflow because they're like really complicated machines and it wasn't hitting. So I'm like pushing the button and nothing's coming out. I'm all, I'm just sucking on this fucking tube. Nothing's coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Eddie, I'm turning. Do you mind trying it for me real quick, right? Like see if something's clogged. And I don't know why, but when I handed it to him, the motherfucker pushed the button and started sucking, right? And he wasn't expecting anything to come out. I wasn't expecting anything to come out. But then right before I turn, I happen to look around and he goes,
oh no.
And all kinds of smoke is coming out of his mouth. And I was like, Eddie, you just vaped.
You just vaped.
No.
You're
And
one
he
of
was
us now.
Yeah. And he was like, I fucking hate you. Don't talk to me. Don't look. I was like, I'm so sorry. And he forgave me right afterwards. But Eddie's vaped,
Accidentally, yeah.
I didn't know you were
die
savage
saying he
like that.
vaped.
Yeah.
I was living life like Larry. At that point.
And you were underage.
And I was under. Oh my god.
Oh damn.
I'm gangster.
You gangster as fuck. But like with that, like it was getting bad, so I had a mod. Eventually I got rid of the mod and I switched to those ZYN packets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they became popular recently, but I was trying them in high school, and it's basically like just nicotine salt, and they're made in a way that looks like the tobacco chew. So you just put it in your lip, and then there's no tobacco in it at all, but it's just nicotine and like salt. I got those, and then I was like, you know what, I need to chill. So I chilled, and my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was really like heavy on me not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So for like 2 years, I didn't do it. And then I stumbled onto cigars, and that became a whole other thing. So then me and my dad...
Cigars like the fat?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I wanted to believe I was from the 1920s for like a good year. Yeah. So I was like... when I drank, it was straight whiskey. When I smoked, it was cigars, and I was wearing like button-ups everywhere I went.
Your whole personality was 90s.
Yeah, I was like, I don't do cell phones. Like I was that pretentious prick.
Were you really like?
Yeah.
You didn't do a.
I've switched to a flip phone for about 2 years because I didn't want and it was a great 2 years because I have so many memories of just being in life, and not being on my phone.
I wonder how what were the biggest differences that you saw?
One, you immediately realize how addicted you are to your phone because almost instantaneously I was like, I want to watch YouTube, and I'd pull up my flip phone and I was like, oh yeah. So then I would have to go to my laptop and I was like, this fucking sucks. And then like. At the time I was really addicted to pornography too. So then I'm like, you would crave it and you're like, oh my God, like I have to beat my shit on my laptop. And like, how am I supposed to take my laptop to the bathroom? How's that gonna look natural?
How are you supposed to take it to the bathroom and not be obvious?
I know. And then like, they're like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm just writing essays.
Browsing, Mom.
Yeah, browsing. And then like, well, I'm gonna position it on the counter, and I gotta like, like, what's the setup?
Distance, yeah.
And then
if I need to skip,
yeah, like you're like, you gotta mess with the mouse, or your dick's in your head. You're like, because it's got those fucking touch mouses, you know. So it's not even like a click. You're like,
yeah.
And then you're fuck. You gotta let your dick. It just turns into a whole situation.
You go limp. That's crazy that you say that, because that just proves how convenient a phone is.
Yeah.
That
Like we really take it for granted, and that kind of helped me go down the path of quitting, pornography and all that, and trying not to jerk off as much, because I felt like a little gremlin a lot of the time, just like just like
felt like your 14-year-old self.
Yeah,
again.
just like really like, oh, I gotta fucking bust, like.
I need my fix.
Yeah, I felt like a
nut.
crackhead. But then afterwards, after you got used to it, like, you really just start to admire life, like the way you did when you were a kid, right? Every day was a new day. The only thing that sucks is like pictures, because I have a Google Cloud account, so I was taking pictures on all different phones, and it was saved from like 2015. So I had pictures from all these different phones since 2015, and then it stopped for the 2 years because I had to switch to a digital camera. And I would carry like a digital camera around with me, like a small one. I would use that to take pictures, and then I would upload it to my computer. But eventually, I was like, fuck that. That's a pain in the ass. I'm not going to be doing that for every... And then, like, you can't take selfies anymore because that feels dumb. You can't be, like, taking picture of your food. So then you start to, like, not want to take pictures of those. The only times I did when I would go on, like, vacations, or I'd go to the mountains or something, right? But mainly, like, the main thing you really see is just how much our world has become surrounded by technology, because that's when TikTok started blowing up. Couldn't watch any of those things, right?
Yeah.
Which helped me not get addicted to it. But people would send me images, and it would take like 30 seconds to load, and I was trying to text, and I was like, boop, 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 boop,
clicking
boop, boop,
4
boop.
times.
Yeah, you know
32
exactly.
times.
Yeah, it's all bip, 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 fuck, and then you gotta just like boop, 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 boop. I got pretty fucking quick though. I could do it with one finger. I was like, do. Like,
That is crazy that you held off that long on a flip phone.
mainly just because of the plan, because it wouldn't let me switch my phone.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So he was like, I was under contract.
If I could have caved sooner, I probably would have. I was like, oh, June 11th. Okay, June 11th.
Oh god!
And then you really start to get a dependency on like other shit, like your laptop and your video games and stuff. But because of that, I started to read way more, and that's kind of what helped me rediscover my writing passion, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that I did that, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have been a writer.
But now that you look back at that cloud and that 2-year gap of pictures, would you do it again?
Fuck no. I like being able to jerk off whenever I want to. No, mainly just because it's a hassle, but it helped me like not use my phone. Like we just last night, me and my friends were on Discord, right? And we were doing this Truth or Dare game, and we all had to send our screen times. And I noticed the difference because everyone was at like 6, 8, 10 hours. I sent mine, and it was 2 hours.
I'm
wow.
gonna check mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna check mine.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Just look up screen time.
So go to settings, and then it should be a little purple hourglass icon, and it says screen time.
My daily average?
Here,
Oh no.
yeah.
My daily average is 3 hours.
Oh yeah, so you're pretty similar. You're at 2 hours.
Yeah, mine is 2 hours.
So you hardly use your phone then, right?
I thought I used it quite a bit, but
Compared to some of these other people, like one of my friends spent 3 hours on TikTok at work. He was on his phone for
At
8 hours.
work?
Yeah, at work.
Damn.
He managed to find 3 hours while at work to watch TikTok, and he was on his phone for 8 hours out of that day. And I'm like,
Damn.
Jesus Christ, you could get paid for how much you're on your phone.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive that he found 3 hours within his work day. Where does he work?
He works. I'll bleep it out, but he works at company, and he details the trucks.
Ah.
It's
How do you find that much time to? I don't like.
To be fair, he doesn't have to do a lot of like work. It's mainly like a demand type of thing. But
Okay. That's
to
impressive.
find that amount of time, yeah, like
the only time I'm gonna. The only time.
no, you're good.
Oh damn, he's
Yeah, he looks fucking sick.
Yeah,
Backwards
my-
hat, fucking nice.
Come on, guys. Flattering you guys.
Dude, it looks.
Now I feel
No
too
one's
cool.
ever done that.
I know, that's a first.
All right. What were we talking about?
Phones. The screen time.
We were talking about. I think we were gonna get on TikTok, or that was the last thing I heard.
I remember
to find that much time to get on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
I remember I would judge people that were on TikTok.
Are you on TikTok now?
I'm very much on TikTok. Too much on TikTok.
Is that where the 2 hours are coming from?
Yeah, that's most likely what the 2 hours are, and I hate it because it's so easily addictive.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
You're like one more, and you're there for
Yeah.
another 30 minutes.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like I know. I told him, he's like, get on TikTok. I'm gonna fuck you. If I get that app, you'll never see me again. Like, I know how I am. I already watch YouTube more than I should. So imagine giving me something that's even shorter.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
And that's the thing, is that it keeps your attention that long because of how short it is and how you just skip to the next video, and the next video is algorithmically correct for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the next one is too, and the next one is too. And it's not like YouTube where you watch a 20-minute video and you know what you're going to get for those 20 minutes. Like, it just keeps going and going, and you just waste so much time on there.
Like, even with YouTube, I'm sure, I don't know if you've ever felt this, but there have been a lot of times where I was like, oh, I'm wasting time. I watch too much YouTube. But at the end of the day, like, you're still getting way more substance out of it. Because even if it's a 20-minute video about a video game, right? They had to put so much more effort into it than a fucking TikTok.
Right.
And you'll get more information out of it than you even realize.
Right.
Like, it's something about the development, something about the developers, something about that person's perspective on it. Like, you change a little bit, even if it's something, you know, completely unrelated to that. With TikTok, you could get on there and all you're going to see is people dancing or people working on cars or whatever is like tailored to you.
Yeah.
And you might get something out of some of them, but for the most part, it's just like entertainment that is mindless.
It is. That's a really good way to put it. It's mindless entertainment. Because when you go on YouTube, you go and search for something, unless you're just scrolling through the
recommended feed, man, that's dangerous.
Yeah, and I usually go on YouTube when I want to like learn something, or like, oh, how do I make this edit, or this type of transition, or learn this certain skill on a car. But on TikTok, it's just mindless entertainment. It's so easy to be entertained.
Plus, you can't control it, like you said. Like, you could scroll, and it might be a video that you don't normally get, but because you interacted with it for so long, you scroll again, and boom, it's another one of those that gets your attention, and then you're in the rabbit hole. Now you're stuck.
Thanks to TikTok, it's ruined my attention span. I cannot watch 20-minute videos anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I can. I get bored after the first minute.
Dude, I only watch 20-minute videos.
Like how Mr. B said it. If you don't hook the viewers in the first 10 seconds, you already lost most of them, because they're all. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people like me whose attention span is only like 30 seconds now.
Yeah, and it surprises me that even like a format like this that we've been able to do as well as we have, because like we're putting out, 1 hour episodes, 2 hour episodes, in some cases 3.5 hour episodes.
Yeah.
And people are listening to the entire thing. And it's like, to me, it's like a cleanser, right? It's a breath of fresh air, because they might be watching TikTok all day, but for their drive for the day, right?
Yeah.
Instead of listening to music, they're deciding to sit down and listen to something like this that is a little bit harder to listen to than music. Even though we're funny as hell and we talk about bullshit, like, they have to actively listen to a conversation.
It's funny that you say that. And now I'm going to switch it on you, because you were talking about how my YouTube made you feel like you were in the shop with me. But when I was catching up on your guys' podcast, it literally felt like I was there with you guys. And I was having the conversation.
We get that a
with
lot.
You guys.
We get that, like, you're in the room with us, listening to us.
And I would catch myself answering some of your questions, and I'd be like, "Whoa, dumbass, I'm not even there." Like,
really?
Yeah, like 100. I 100%. Like, I was feeling like I was with you guys. Like, I watched a couple of them, and on a lot of them, I would catch myself answering or being part of the conversation while I wasn't even here.
Oh man, that is so cool.
That's true, because when I was listening to your episode with Anais, I felt myself answering some dumb shit. Like, I'll add my Eddie Spice and say dumb shit.
Yeah, and I watched that one too, and that one was really funny.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. It's just somehow we tapped into a type of conversation that is more realistic than, like, let's say the Joe Rogan one, right? Because with the Joe Rogan one, to me, and a lot of other podcasts like that, it always felt like it was just an interview. And if
Right.
I didn't know that person, I wasn't going to be engaged with whatever they're going to say. But for us, at least from the fans that I've interacted with, it seems like everybody is genuinely interested in the people we bring in, because we're not sitting there asking like, well, how's work? And, you know, how much money are you making?
Yeah.
And what inspired you? We're just like, do you think aliens are real?
Yeah.
And then they're like, that's something that everyone wants to talk about, you know? Of course, we do get people's experiences, but I feel like we're doing it in a way that's a little bit more unique. It feels personal, honestly.
Yeah, I see how you say it's less of an interview and more of a conversation, because
That was, we got to trademark that. Holy shit. Dude, we're putting that on merch. Less of an interview, more of a conversation.
hell yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. You want a sticker?
Yeah, give me that sticker.
You
know-
still have some?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Where do you guys get your stickers from?
I ordered it from Sticker Mule. I wanted to try them out, and I fucked up on the size. I thought it was gonna be
Bigger?
yeah, I thought it was gonna be like 4 inches by 4 inches, so like a good square.
Yeah.
And they came out all tiny. I was like, fuck. I was like, you know what? We could put it on some phones, you know. So that's why I throw it on my phone.
It's funny because I'm not much of a sticker guy, but I promise you guys I'll put this on something.
No,
I'm gonna
that's
put it
fine.
on my toolbox.
Thank you.
actually.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh, where's my bottle? I have it on my bottle.
Yeah. Any of your guys' sticker needs or shirt needs? Karen does all of that.
Oh, sick! Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we get a discount?
Yeah, I'll get you guys some stickers.
Sick.
Sick.
If you actually, can you give me some I would love to see her work, because I was gonna ask. I noticed that she's been doing her own thing too, like starting that whole shop and clothing business,
Yeah.
which is really fucking cool.
Yeah,
by the way.
she's. I'm sorry, babe, for calling you this, but she's a bad bitch. Like 100%. She has her own schedule. She has her own office.
She's her own boss?
Yeah, she. Well, we share the same space, but our shop is separated. So my shop is right here, and then there's a wall and a door, and it's her office. So yeah, she just does whatever the hell she wants, whenever the hell she wants.
That's pretty cool, because similar to you, me and Karen have never been close, but like I noticed some of what she was doing, you know, as I got back on social media and stuff, and I was like, whoa, that's really fucking sick. Especially like similar to you, like I saw the quality of some of her videos and the quality of like her clothes and her website, and I was like, holy shit. Like I remember when she was selling paintings for people, and now like she's selling shirts.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, because it's crazy to see where she started to where she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had this one TikTok blow up, and it gave her $27,000
Holy
What the
fuck.
fuck?
in one night. One night.
Eddie, we got to get back
Yeah,
on
I was gonna
TikTok.
say the exact same thing.
We haven't posted TikToks in a while.
I
We gotta-
know. We have to get
Oh,
back.
I'm sorry, but it wasn't the TikTok that gave her the
but it's the
in sales.
exposure, right?
Yeah.
The exposure gave her that much sales, and it was
And it's
like,
just her. Like, she doesn't have another person helping her out.
No.
Dude, congratulations.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I can't even imagine $27,000 in one day. Like, what
But
do you-
that settles your business right there, because that now you know you're just going to go up from there.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean she's been doing pretty good. So yeah, I'm proud.
She's a badass.
Yeah,
That's
she is
so
a
fucking
badass.
cool.
You're a badass, dude.
Congratulations to her and you,
Yeah,
because you know, like I said earlier, give respects due. You guys are both growing, and it's cool because like I never would have imagined that so many of us coming from the same school, graduating from the exact same year, we're all gonna start doing this kind of, you know, career path.
Yeah,
Like, not to call out our classmates, but a lot of them ended up going and living like average lives, and I just kind of expected that for the mass majority of us. But then, you know, I see people like you going out and like living this extravagant life, starting a YouTube, Karen starting her own business and really blowing up like on social media and stuff. And me and this asshole, we're doing the fucking podcast.
yeah.
You know, I'm not sure if you remember, but Dante Duarte, he has like a graphic design company that I think he's starting. Kevin's got a graphic design company, and
Yeah.
he has his own podcast. I'm like, everybody's like from our class is really like going out there and changing the world.
Yeah,
in a
and
sense.
I love to see differences like this, like how you guys are doing the podcast and Dante and all of that. I love to see the creative aspect of everybody's different personality, and everybody has their own cup of tea, and I want to see everybody
Succeed.
succeed and do what they want to do, whatever they're passionate in, because if you're unhappy with your job,
Quit.
yeah, quit, Eddie.
No, I still need the job.
Yeah,
we're not in a position where I could just fucking quit.
yeah, no, and I get that, and I don't literally mean like leave your job immediately. Make ends meet and take the path that's gonna get you where you
want to go.
You want to go, yeah.
Oof, I love that. Yeah. And like I noticed the change in myself too as we've done this, because I'm not sure if this ever happened to you. Maybe I'm just a shitty person, but in high school, especially, I like when I would meet other creatives, instead of like bonding with them over the craft and like admiring what they're doing, I would try to outperform them a lot of times and like shit on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they're, oh, I like to draw. I'm like, oh, I like to draw too, and we talk about it, and then I'm like, let me see your drawings, and then I would see it and I'm like, oh, I know I'm better. And then I would look for an excuse to bring it up.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, I'm a fucking asshole, because how many people's like dreams did I shit on that could have, gone on to do something amazing
with that small comment?
Yeah. So now I try to like boost everyone up where I can.
But it's so awesome that you can see that what you did might have been wrong, and is that just that self-awareness is incredible to know that you have.
Thank you.
Because there's a lot of people that go around being complete fucking assholes and that wouldn't give two shits about it, and that won't give two shits about it 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not perfect. Like we're gonna say something mean that might ruin somebody's day or week, or even change their plans about something. And I mean, you can't really take it back either, but the most you can do is be self-aware of what you did, and
exactly.
And like I said, like I'm sure I've been mean to plenty of people. And
no, you haven't. Shut the I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? Because there's not once, I have never met one person who hated you or who didn't know you or who was like, Angel's a dickhead. Like, I thought you were the nicest person ever in high school, okay? So I'm not even going to let you go on and start saying you did bad shit.
In high school, this is my confession. In high school, I tried so hard to be your friend.
Really?
So hard.
Well, we were friends.
No, I mean, no.
Like, keep him around?
Yeah. Like, I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
That was the confession you spoke about earlier?
Yeah. Like you and your little friend group, I'm like, I want to be in their friend group so bad.
Oh,
and
man.
I never penetrated that fortress.
But
I don't know why.
But I don't know what friend group. I feel like I tried to be friends
with everybody.
Yeah, and I don't feel like I had a specific group.
Because I always saw you hanging out with
Do you want me to bleep out the names?
Yeah, I guess you have to. Like, I remember you hanging out with what's his name? Like.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're so cool. I want to be their friends. Never got around to it.
Oh, man. Well, like, I always thought you were fucking hilarious.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, because you are.
I don't see it.
Yeah. I told you are.
I know. You tell me almost every day that I'm fucking funny, but I never see it.
That's why I said it's not special anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it was so easy to connect with you and like to be around you, because you're just like naturally funny, and funny is a very hard thing to be. Mm-hmm. Like you can't force funny, and you, my friend, you got the funny in you.
You see what I'm fucking telling you? Naturally fucking funny, okay?
You got the funny in you, buddy.
I had to learn to be funny. You got it easy.
I guess thank you. I appreciate it. I don't take compliments well.
Then thank you for that though, because like I love when people come on here and help boost this confidence a little bit, because I've said it before in the past, but this show has kind of been like a growing thing for both of us. Because when we started out, we were really different people, but being open and honest with the community like this, and then talking with so many people on a weekly basis, kind of really opens your opens up your perspective, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of growth in him specifically, like just the passion, the responsibility, the drive, and like I love when you guys come on here and then like somebody gives him a shout out, because I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Eddie, like I'm his little cheerleader.
And
I'm
then
like, yeah.
Deep down he's hurt. Because everybody, for some reason, that's come on here,
They're Eddie fans.
They're Eddie fans.
We gotta give them a name.
Eddie fans.
Yeah,
What?
We ask them who's the better host, me or Devin, and they're like, "Oh, it's Eddie because he's
What?
funny."
I don't ever take it at heart. I actually think it's fucking great that every person that's come on here is like, Eddie. I'm like, see, you got it, bud. You fucking got it. Keep
I don't
going.
even talk.
Yeah.
I just say random shit off the
He
side.
just pops in.
Yeah.
sometimes.
But when he pops in, everybody fucking
Like when you
notices.
get at the beginning of the show, you guys were mainly talking, and then I was off to the sidelines waiting for my moment to strike a joke.
Waiting for his
Yeah,
cue.
I was listening. And then you actually jump in, but then like I said, everybody notices. Like you
Yeah.
have a personality that grabs attention.
and
in
I
a
don't
sense.
fucking get it. I don't get it.
See, and how you say you don't take compliments. I feel like I'm a bit the same way. Like how you guys are saying that I'm living my life like I don't know. Like I like the vision that you guys have of me is not the vision that I have
You have
of
yourself.
myself.
Same.
And I feel like that's everybody too.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's great. Like, I'm an advocate for just telling people the honest fucking truth now, especially because I don't know what it is, but one day I just fucking woke up and I was like, oh my God, like, we're all living lies. Like,
Yeah.
people wake the fuck up, right?
We're all living lives.
Like, I was trying so hard to be I was trying to play a character in high school and I had like all these different fucking personalities and I was trying so hard to fit into that. And I'm like, why? Like, why? And so now, like, if I see somebody doing something cool, I'm gonna fucking tell them. You know, if I see someone acting like a bitch, I'm gonna tell them. Like, regardless if it's good or it's bad, it's better to just be honest because you're gonna get so much more out of life that way, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm being honest when I say, like, I thought you were just the nicest fucking person ever because there was not once I heard anybody ever talk bad about you. You always had a smile on your face. Everybody said hi to you. And I'm just like, Angel's the guy, bro. Like, kind of like how you said you're friends with everybody, right? So
Yeah.
everybody could kind of look at you and be like, yeah, I know Angel. And it was like, because everybody knew you and everybody knew Karen, it kind of made you look more popular, right?
Yeah.
And so because everybody felt like they knew a popular guy, it made them like you even more. And it just was like cycle, right?
Yeah, and that's funny because I didn't feel like I was like popular or
Nah,
You were
he was
popular.
right, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were popular.
he was up there.
Oh man.
Like the movies, like, you know how they have the rankings? Like, you were probably way up there, like
Yeah.
higher than you realize.
Oh, you guys are funny. You know, like I said, like the
cheesiness on his face right now. I
Yeah,
could put
he's
it on a
smiling.
sandwich.
I have a completely different vision of myself than
Well, okay, if you don't mind, how did you see yourself?
well, so okay, we'll get into something else. I didn't feel like I connected with a lot of a big majority of guys because and people I would often get a lot of shit for not I'm not interested in sports very much.
Oof, right here, fuck that.
There's-
Ugh.
Yeah, and I would always get comments like what makes you a man if you're not interested in sports, and like those things could be like very, very little and very like a little joke, but you're like, wow, why don't I like sports? Like
It kind of it builds into you. It like it eats at you in a sense.
yeah, and like coming from multiple sources, and not to boast or anything, but a lot of the people that told me something along the lines of like what makes you a man if you don't like sports are people that I've helped broken down on the side of the road.
Oh, really?
fixing their car issue
Kill 'em
because
with kindness.
yeah and exactly kill them with kindness. So yeah, that I never really fit into a certain group of guys, if
I think
you will.
I know exactly what you
I
mean.
was about to say the same shit because I feel like I think a lot of us were trying to find that group of masculinity that we fit into, right? Because
Right.
there's all these stereotypes. Like you have to be a car guy or a sports guy or this guy or that guy,
Yeah.
right? And you might like one, but not the way you're supposed to like it. And then that means you can't fit into the group.
Yeah.
And like I saw it a lot with sports too because I played them, but I wasn't really into them. I didn't know any of the fucking players. And so like,
Yeah.
you know, I would hear conversations that he had with people and they're just going off about the players and who did what and the yards. And I'm like, who gives a shit? And like, he caught a ball, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it always made me kind of insecure in a sense. I'm like, where do I fit in? Because yeah, I liked cars, but not enough to have a whole conversation about it. I played sports, but I didn't watch it, and I kind of felt the same way, you know.
Yeah.
And at some point, you just kind of learn to grow comfortable with it, make your own masculine. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's I know a couple people that struggle with their trying to find their masculinity, trying to be the perfect man, and trying to be the man that they see on the internet, trying to fit a perfect persona that they've made for themselves. And I think that they should just find their own way of being their own kind of masculine, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no criteria for a perfect man.
Mm-hmm.
There's no criteria to be a perfect person.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and again, I kind of learned a little bit of that from him, because one thing that I saw in him very early on was just how brutally honest he was sometimes about shit that you wouldn't expect people to be honest with, right? Like, I don't think he ever said this actually, but here's an example of something that he would say. We'd be out in a social setting, high school, mind you. Everyone's trying to be the coolest person in high school.
yeah.
And Eddie would be like, yeah, I sleep with stuffed animals. And we're like, what the fuck? And that it made him
I love
relatable
that.
in a sense, right? Because not that I slept with stuffed animals, but he like lowered the bar.
Yeah, like he fucking removed the bar.
I watch half naked men wrestle, and I love it.
There, you see? Like,
yeah.
he would say shit like that, and then it kind of helped you like, oh, well, you know, I like anime. It's like,
yeah,
you could open up about that shit.
See, and that's where we go back to your funniness. Like, not everybody could just say that and it'll work. Like, it has to be you.
Your delivery's perfect.
I feel like I'll eventually understand, but as of this moment, I'm just me.
Yeah, and that's all. That's the only explanation you're gonna get. Is it's just you. It's in you. Like,
I could break down all the technical terms of why it works and how like socially it plays into, but like you're not gonna. It doesn't matter to you. You're not gonna understand. First off, you don't care, and then it doesn't matter at the same time.
Yeah.
and there's the problem is that we try to break it down, and how will it be correct in like the way you described it in those different categories and how it would work. But by us just thinking about that, it's already not gonna work.
Yeah, because like that might not be why it's specifically working. It's just in that moment, for whatever reason, the way he said it, how he said it, how loud he said it, it worked.
Yeah, like the tone he said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just something that's natural, I guess, for you.
I guess.
And for anyone listening that like feels like they're struggling with their image or trying to fit into like being the most feminine version or the most masculine, you just got to find your own way, you know?
Exactly.
Ironically enough, you could kind of look at the LGBTQ community in the sense that they're just defining their own way of things. You know, we won't touch on that subject. Let's just push that away. But in the sense, like, you guys just got to find your own version, you know, and pull inspiration from people that are like-minded and look at how they're doing things and find your own version of how to do that, in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't try to get a perfect persona for yourself off of something that you see on the internet, or try to be like somebody that you know. Like, just try to just be yourself.
Yeah, especially for us, because I'm sure at some point we've all gone like, oh, we're short, like we're not men because we're short.
Yeah, and how much things don't you see on the internet about short people, man?
Oh my god,
like,
nowadays I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up. I don't even talk about it this much.
Like, I know I'm short.
And so, like, in a sense, like, you just got to get comfortable with yourself. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the tallest motherfucker in the room, the shortest motherfucker in the room. It's all about your confidence and how you view yourself and how you treat the people around you at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
I know it sounds basic as hell, but most people aren't doing that.
Yeah, it's nothing but the truth. You just have to be yourself.
Yeah. When was the last time any of you complimented your friends? Think about it like that.
I tried to, and you didn't accept it.
When
either.
What?
We called you funny and you said you're
Yeah.
not. There you go.
That's true.
And the reason I think most people have a hard time accepting compliments is because we don't hear them often.
Yeah.
Nobody hears compliments, so we're just like,
And
Thank
you're like-
you.
Yeah, it puts you in a weird space where you don't know how to respond.
But just that one little thing could brighten someone's day. And like I said, I try to be open with it. Like when I see good things in you or him or anybody, I'll fucking say it because maybe that's what you needed to hear.
Yeah, because a lot of the times the subject themselves don't know it themselves. Like,
Fuck, it all ties back into together. Like we
Yeah.
didn't know who we were as people. We were trying to define our own versions. But if someone had complimented the good qualities that we were able to recognize, we could have used that to build ourselves up. Like, hey man, you're really, really funny. If someone had told Eddie that, he'd been like, I'm funny. Like, and if he kept hearing it, like, I'm funny.
yeah,
And it would have been something that could have gave him confidence in a sense, you know?
yeah,
He's like, well, yeah, I'm funny. People tell me I'm funny.
yeah. And I feel like there's even with us saying, just be yourself. There's always going to be something that you're self-conscious about, or something that you're looking out for, or something that you might want to change. But that's just human nature. And
Yeah.
as long as you're happy with how you are and how you treat the people around you, I mean, you're all.
There
I
you
say
go,
you're
man, yeah.
peachy, yeah.
I mean, I've accepted the fact that I have small hands and tiny calves. You know? I have chicken legs. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I rock these fucking chicken legs.
Yeah, I was called chicken legs in middle school too.
Really?
I wore shorts one time. Do you think I ever wore shorts again? Not at all.
Even now he's wearing pants.
Yeah, I'm wearing pants right now in 100-degree weather, all black.
But yeah, like I heard it as soon as I started going to the gym, right? Because I train my legs. I don't want to make it seem like I don't.
Yeah.
I just have tiny calves because I've been running my whole life. My body realized that you don't need as much mass, you just need strength. So my fucking legs look weird compared to the rest of my body, especially if I stand. Now you're looking, look at
It looks normal.
somewhat,
They look
right?
like
But if I
legs to
stand
me.
up, my legs, you can kind of tell they have some.
Jesus Christ.
They're tiny, right?
No, you're muscular, bro. If I pull up my legs, they just look like meat.
Yeah. Thank you. But like the size proportions all off is what I'm saying, and people notice it instantly. So the worst offender, the one that hurts me the most is my own mother.
Oh man.
I come home and she's all, "What's up, chicken legs?"
Oh man, mom. And it's I feel like the moms always get you in the most vulnerable time when they don't even mean it in that way.
No, she does.
Oh.
She's trying to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she'll be like, "Why don't you train your legs? Did you train calves?" And I'm like, "Oh, shut up. Please." She's like, "You hit leg day today?" And I'm like, "Stop."
Oh, mom, please.
Yeah. So now it's on the internet forever, mom.
It was a push day, mom.
Yeah, it was pussy. Like, come on. But like that's what we mean in a sense. Like you got to learn to. That's the big thing. You gotta be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to look at yourself and say you're stupid, and then laugh because you just called yourself stupid and no one's around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
if you can't take criticism, obviously things are gonna hurt, and some people's comments are gonna stay longer than others. But what can you do about that? Like, you can't change. We can't grow any taller now. We can't
Yeah.
change our calves.
You can actually. There's a surgery.
I looked into that.
I looked into it.
I looked into that.
I have an appointment next week.
It's life threatening, but like it might be worth the 2 inches.
Is it really life threatening?
They say because like they have to go in there and restructure your bones, but you get 2 inches, maybe 3,
Hey,
depending on
2 inches is a
That's
lot.
what I'm saying. I could jump up to 5'9", bro. Like,
Oh, that sucks that you still wouldn't be at 6 feet.
I know, right?
The standard, the beauty standard for
It's
women.
6 feet.
I know that's bullshit. That's why, like, if a girl says 6 feet, I'm like, thank you. You didn't waste my time. I'm out of here. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even try. You're
Well,
crazy.
Well, I'm glad I met Karen when I was like four something, like 4'9".
I thought
maybe.
you
Yeah,
were-
middle
I thought you
school,
were
No,
right?
4 years old.
I was
No.
like,
No, we met when we were like 10. But
I thought you guys met in middle school.
no, we met in elementary.
Wow. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay, wait, real quick. How long have you guys been together?
So we were like on and off throughout school because just high school and middle
Yeah.
school stuff.
Yeah.
But so we've known each other more than half our lives.
Holy
we met in
fuck.
2009, so that's what 13 years, the first 14 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
14 years. That's a whole ass kid.
That is a kid, bro.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
but I think we've been together for like 4 or 5 years.
Like officially.
Yeah. So people are always asking us when we're gonna get married.
I was literally about to ask, can I go to the wedding?
When it happens, if it happens, you're invited.
You mean it's when? It's when.
Yeah. So people are always asking us when we're gonna get married, when we're gonna have kids. But I feel like we're both just trying to enjoy our own.
Enjoy your 20s.
Yeah, enjoy our 20s and enjoy our own presence before we introduce.
Do you guys have your own place together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I sold the red Mustang and bought a property with a mobile home on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that goes. We always say that the spirit of the blue Mustang is in the house because I sold the blue Mustang to get the airplane. I sold the airplane, got the red Mustang, and then I sold the red Mustang and got the house.
So it took care of you throughout the years.
Yeah. It did. That blue Mustang is looking out for me.
God, man, that was probably the best decision you ever did. Like, let me just repair that real quick.
Yeah.
And then later on, you're buying houses with it and going on trips and shit. And it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, little did I know where life would take me.
But that's good because, I mean, a lot of the older generations will always say, like, they contradict themselves, which is fucking annoying. So they'll be like, enjoy your 20s, don't have kids ever, just fucking party all the time. And then they'll be like, have kids young so you can be there for them and grow up.
Yeah, you don't want to be an old parent and things like that.
But I feel like you guys are doing it good in the sense you're both living life, you're enjoying life, you're traveling, you're making memories, and now you guys are both experimenting with all these different careers. Like, she's doing her business, you're doing the YouTube, the shop, the pilot, the travel. I mean, you got a lot going on, and like, you're able to do that.
Yeah, we have the freedom and ability to do that, and not crapping on anybody that has kids.
No, but why the fuck did you guys have kids so young? What's up with that?
yeah, and obviously some of those weren't.
Let's not.
Say that. I'm not gonna.
Hey, it's okay. I was a mistake too. It's cool.
yeah, exactly. Who isn't a mistake, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't know anybody.
My brother
that
wasn't,
planned.
and he rubs it in my face, but I was wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I was very much a mistake. I don't know anybody. I personally don't know anybody that was planned.
Weird question. Do you know where you were conceived? Like where you were?
Oh my!
I hate my mom because she told me this kind of shit.
No way, really?
They did it on a waterbed.
Honestly, bro,
I'm never touching a waterbed because of that. I always wanted one, and then she told me that. Never getting on if I go to a hotel and it has a waterbed, I'll move hotels. I'm never touching one.
You have nightmares and you just hear the slishy
I do.
sloshy of the waterbed.
Slishy sloshy. Because it does, right? It's all. It's like.
It does.
So I'm guessing you don't know that, right?
I don't know where they conceived me, and I
don't ask.
I probably don't want to know. How would I even bring that up? Hey, mom.
What about you? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
I have a feeling you do.
No, I don't. I like you said, I don't want to know.
Good. You don't ask. Don't do it.
I feel like yours is the worst on a waterbed. Like, that's a cool story, but not for the kid being conceived.
Yeah, and especially since I know like everything, not the details, okay, but like the night, like I know the time of night, I know like how she snuck them in. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck?
Oh God, you have a visual.
I'm like, that was some whole shit right there. Nana was right next door. Come on,
no. Nana was in the room next door.
Yeah, like
no,
that's her fault for telling me. She knows how I am. So she told me she knew I was gonna make fun of her.
It's on the internet now for
yeah.
Gonna live on
Thanks,
forever.
Mom. That's my payback,
right? Oh, that's
she might have scarred me, but now I'm scarring everyone who hears this, and her legacy will live on.
I don't think anybody's gonna be scarred more than you, though.
Dude, people start sending me pictures of waterbeds. I'll be like, fuck off.
Somebody's gonna sponsor a waterbed.
If a waterbed company wants to sponsor us, I might just do it for the irony. You know, if you guys are listening, give us a fucking shout out.
Would you sleep in it though? You have to hear that slishy slosh every night.
I wouldn't sleep on it regularly.
And imagine
but
the back problems you're gonna get because of that waterbed.
I might lay on it for the show, you know, just the one time. Just morbid curiosity, like touch it. I'm like, oh, okay, that is comfy.
that is a waterbed.
You do get motion, okay.
I understand now.
They had a lot of fun, I'm guessing. God, that was too much for me. Ugh.
Jeez.
How do we transition out of this? Help me out.
I
I'm
don't know.
sinking.
I
I'm sinking in
don't
my
know.
waterbed. Get me the
Sinking
fuck
in
out
the
of here.
waterbed. The
Yeah,
captain's
help me
gonna
out,
go
Eddie.
down
I
with this ship.
don't know.
This is spiraled very bad.
I
How
know.
did we go into talking about?
I think it was weed.
person- Personalities
It was
and-
because he
weed
mentioned
related
something
to
about
weed.
having kids, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
asked him, "Do you know how you were conceived?" And then
Oh yeah, okay. Let's switch back to that real quick. Okay, kids.
mobile home.
Yeah. God, fucking kids. Do you know how much you guys are gonna have in the future?
Kids?
Yeah, if you ever have any.
Do you guys talk far about the future, or just like you guys try to live in the present?
We do try to live in the present, but we obviously do talk about the future, and we've talked about marriage before, and we've talked about kids. And like I've said before, we both agree that we want to enjoy ourselves. Like, this is the best time in our lives. We're young. This is the best we're gonna look. This is
Yeah.
the most energy we're gonna have. This is the fittest our bodies are gonna be before we start decaying.
Yeah.
Decaying. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Decaying.
Yeah, so we're trying to enjoy ourselves before
Before it's too late.
before it's too late and a kid comes in. Not crapping on anybody that has kids again, but we
Kind of crapping on you guys.
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
just a little bit.
To all you guys that we had on the show who have kids, we love you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
Have the kids listen to this podcast.
Yeah, there you go. Have them listen to this episode.
We have a whole bunch of life lessons here. We have personalities.
Yeah.
We have
Mhm.
weed, drugs. We have
How to be safe
We have
experimenting with
half-naked
drugs.
men.
Half naked men.
Naked
Half
men.
naked men.
Yeah.
There's
water
like a
beds.
second.
Yeah. Water beds.
Wait, how to be safe with sex, you know, body images. I don't know.
Yeah.
we're very wise over here.
Yeah, all these gray hairs didn't come from not being wise. By the way, did you guys not have gray hairs?
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I have a lot of gray hairs.
I thought I had a lot. What the
You
fuck?
have gray hairs?
Yeah, they're not as noticeable as yours, but I have quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people will people will touch my hair for whatever fucking reason, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm
You
like,
got
"Shut
white
up."
hairs?
Yeah.
I've had white hair since I was small. I was the thing like elementary. I had.
I
Damn,
think
so you had stress that young?
Yeah, bro. Tell me about it. My mom would always be like, "Don't get so stressed out." I'd be like, "Mom, you think I want to? You think I'm trying?"
Maybe
I'm over
stop with the rules a little
I'm
bit.
over. Yeah, I'm over there worrying about taxes at 10 years old.
Or stop telling me all the business side
Yeah.
of things. You know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate that. My mom did that to me too, so I don't know if it's stress or I don't know if it's genetics. But like, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, we might not be able to pay the bills this month." I'm like, "What the fuck you
Oh my
mean?
God,
I'm
Mom,
8."
We're gonna be homeless.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
want me to go get a job?
I remember asking her once when I was like 10. I was like, "Do you want me to quit school and get a job?" And she goes, "No, you don't have to do that." I was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" And I was like, "Because you said we were having money issues." Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go fucking work like at a shoe shine shop or something.
I'm a team player, Mom.
You know, I got this. Like, just let me know. And she
Anything to
goes,
get out of school.
Basically, I fucking hated school. I didn't want to be in school.
School. I feel like I liked school, but I didn't. Like I liked the social
Me too.
aspect of school.
Me too.
I think that's the only reason kids go to school, because they get to see their friends and stuff, right?
Yeah, because you go home and it's nothing but silence.
Yeah.
No one wants to go to school to learn about fucking math.
Yeah,
They're going
like,
to see, you
I'm
know.
so excited to learn about pie.
There you go. Yeah, everyone's coming to see their friends, and it's weird how everyone's like, "Oh, I'm an introvert," or "I like to be home," or whatever. But you know, when we were growing up, everybody's excited for school to go see their friends. You know.
Yeah.
I was excited to go see you, Eddie, to
Yeah.
go laugh, and you didn't want to go to school.
Okay, I did want to go to school, but there's days I didn't because I didn't want to see anybody.
Okay, so maybe he is
Yeah.
a true introvert. But you know, I would go to see you guys. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I get to see the gang today. We're gonna go to."
I guess yeah, because before high school, I never went out with friends. I only see them
neither did
I only see them at school, so that was the time to hang out.
Yeah, I feel like high school was an awesome time because that's when you start not rebelling, but you go out with your friends and you do dumb shit. You learn.
Like in high school, that was the first time I ever ditched school because of this dumbass.
You did it to him.
I told you I was a bad kid. I was a bad influence, and I got him to vape. I got him
on accident.
I was
Made him ditch school.
I made you ditch school. I was showing him naughty pictures. Like it was all over the place.
Yeah,
you know,
you were the bad influence.
I was, but it's just because I was trying to play into that character. Like, again, I was trying to be like that cool kid or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The kid that was friends with everyone, but was also like kind of like, you know, don't fuck with them. I don't know what I was trying to be.
You're trying to be edgy.
I guess. I don't know.
And that's a struggle for everyone. Like, we all did stupid shit trying to be, like you said, trying to fit a persona.
Okay, I'm actually kind of curious. What's something that you did that you would say is like delinquent or rebel or dumb, you know, that like for social clout, I guess.
For social clout, I'm not sure if I ever did anything for the social aspect of it, but I did it for like my own pleasure.
Oh, that's even worse. You kids are the ones that'll do shit and nobody will know.
Yeah, like this one time we stole a street sign.
Oh my god!
fuck?
You know how illegal that is.
This is a hypothetical for the for the law hearing this. But yeah, there was
statute of limitations. You're good.
Oh yeah, how long is?
I think it's 5 years. I'm pretty sure
Either
it's 5
way,
years.
you were like what? How old are you?
You're a minor too,
Yeah.
so
Okay, yeah. So we stole a street sign, and it was in the middle of the night in this new development. There was like new houses there. It was very quiet, but there was
Wait,
like, I don't really remember where it was, to be honest. Now, I think it was somewhere here on the south side.
Oh, okay.
And we pulled up in the middle of the night in the blue Mustang. Like nobody's gonna recognize that.
Yeah,
right?
everyone knew that car is your car.
Yeah, so that was a stupid mistake. And then the two people I was with, they stood me on their shoulders, and I was up there with my little wrench unbolting the sign.
Oh
and
my
then,
god!
And then we took the sign, and it got passed around a bit. I don't know where that sign is now. I wish I had it.
That's
Let's go steal another sign.
Fuck
yeah,
it.
let's do it.
Dude, I'm fucking down.
Let's
Okay.
cause so many car accidents.
I know a couple streets that don't need some signs. You know.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of sign was it?
It was the ones on top of the stop sign that are like this, and the sign name was Marinara. Like, how could you not want it?
That's true.
It was
That's
Marinara.
true. You could put that shit in the kitchen. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, it'll go good anywhere with the Marinara.
Okay, wait. Why a sign? Why were you guys just in the middle of the night? Like, let's go steal some fucking signs. How did that come up?
That's a very good question, and I don't know the answers to that. But I know it was premeditated because we.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
You came with tools. It wasn't like, oh, let's just pull up real quick. You were like, okay, I'm gonna get on your shoulders. Steven's gonna be the lookout.
We
Yeah.
had a team.
You're like, we have 30 seconds, people. Go.
Well, that's the thing is I always had tools with me because my car would always be breaking down. So, yeah. But I think I didn't really do a lot of illegal things.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You don't have to look back on your life with shame.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has their shameful moments, right?
Yeah.
But
Everybody.
Nothing, just clear my throat. Not saying anything.
yeah, I think that's probably the most illegal thing I've done. If I'm not forgetting something.
That's pretty cool. That's unique, if anything, because like I'll ask people that question a lot, right? Just because I'm kind of curious to see who the fuck was doing what in high school, right?
Yeah.
And like sometimes you'll get an extreme answer, like I threw smoke bombs all over the school, you know,
Yeah.
and caused a bunch of fights. And then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I stole a street sign, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Like it's unique because you almost never hear that. I think the main thing you hear is, oh, I ditched, or I cussed out a teacher, or I got in a fight, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
And then, but like, you're, oh yeah, you know, we got a team. We planned it out. It was the heist of the century. Like, we got that fucking street sign. They don't know where it's at now. I don't know where it's
You
at
best
now.
believe I was scared and I was shaking. I was all-
Really?
Yeah, bro. I kept on thinking. I heard cars coming in. Is that a cop? Is that a cop? Go, hurry up! And I was like, with a little wrench.
That's not moving.
It's not. There's another bolt on the other side.
It's like, get the WD-40, it's not coming out. But I feel that because like there's a couple times where I was like, I want to do something illegal, right? And it was always just me by myself. So on one occasion, like I grabbed my backpack from school, I loaded it up with spray cans, and I went around my neighborhood and started vandalizing like the walls and shit. Right?
Oh my god!
Dumbass me did it in the middle of the day, like on a Monday, because we didn't have school and everybody was at work. So I'm like, I'm a genius, and I'm like. Do you know how many people probably just like work nights or like, you know, didn't work that day? Yeah. And so I'm walking around and the entire time I forgot they had the little balls in the can. So all you hear is the shaking. Like,
oh my god.
And so then for whatever fucking reason, all these companies decide to do work like on the light posts and on like the fire hydrants and shit. Yeah. So I'm walking to all the areas I want to vandalize and all they can hear is the fucking spray can clean.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run, clink, and I'm like, fuck! And then I finally get to the area, and like they're all looking at me. Yeah, I get to like, so I decided to go to this like ditch first, this like ravine, and like tag like on the ditch because it's.
What would you tag?
I just put random shit on one. I put Satan on another one. I put penis on another. Like I was just writing whatever the fuck like 6-year-old me could think of, right? I think on one I put the king. 16.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
The 6-year-old me was like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing that. And like I was so paranoid the whole time because like even though I was in like that secluded area, every time I heard a car, I was all like turning all fucking quick. I was like, that was a car, wasn't it? And I'm like looking around. And then at one point, keep in mind, it's like a ditch ravine area that connects to the open desert. And at one point, there was a white van, like one of those worker vans that was pulling up in the fucking ravine. And I'm like, am I tripping? And I was like, are they coming for me? Because like, why the hell would they be in the middle of this ditch? Yeah. And so I got the hell out of there. I started hopping through people's yards, which was bad on its own because I didn't know if any of these people.
That's even worse.
Yeah. At first, I'm breaking into people's houses, right? Basically. And then there's all these dogs everywhere too. So like if I heard a dog, I'd have to like go to the other side of the house and jump into the front yard. I'm pretty sure some people saw me. And that's the neighborhood I moved back into. So like if they recognize me just walking around, they'll just be like, that's the asshole who was like jumping in my yard fucking with my dog.
Imagine if the spray cans were loud already while you were walking. Imagine jumping the yards.
That too, yeah.
Like a fucking
and then on my way back, same shit. Like I'm like, okay, be careful, be cool. I'm just coming home from school, right? They don't know me. Yeah. And then click. That's all they hear. And so at one point, I got fucking sick of it, right? And so I chucked one of the spray cans, and I was like, these are my fucking dad's spray cans. I can't do that. So I had to hold on to them, and so I just had to walk super slow. I was all, dude. Click, dude. And then yeah, sometimes it would click, and I was just like, it's tools, it's this, you know. I was trying to make up shit in my head, and I was like, click. I was like, fuck. Damn. But like I understand that fear, and those moments you feel like everybody's watching you.
Yeah.
And in reality, they're all, what the fuck's that kid doing?
Yeah.
And yours, obviously, if they saw you, they're like, he's still in the sign.
Yeah. If I was over there looking like a cheerleader on top of these people, just getting the damn sign.
Don't. It was loose. Loose.
I fixed it for you.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a good Samaritan. Tell the city to pay me. Honestly, I feel like if anybody was gonna get out of that, it'd be you. And by the end of it, they'd be like, "Do you want
a job?
You want to work for the city?
Oh my god!
You stole my fucking punchline." Yeah,
that was good.
They're like, "You want to work for the city?
You want to repair signs for a living?"
Like, fuck it, 6 months.
Yeah, I'm like, how much do you guys pay?
Honestly, out of the jobs you got, like, were you getting paid decent?
While I was working at the airport, at the flight school, I was getting paid like $13 an hour, which at the time
was a lot.
At the time it was a lot. It was more than I was making at AutoZone.
Oh yeah.
Say, so yeah, I was making pretty good amount, and then at the shop over there, I was getting paid 16. And then with the YouTuber, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to discuss pay, but who cares?
I could take that part out. Yeah. But out of curiosity for me, like,
yeah. I don't care. With the YouTuber, I am getting paid 25 an hour, but
based off of the how much you record or how much you edit, or
no, it's just 25 an hour.
Okay. What do you actually do for her? And I mean, how are you assisting her?
Wait, first of all, who's a YouTuber?
her name is Sarah Entuned, and she does like car content reviews and builds and stuff like that.
Is semi big?
500,000 subs.
Holy
Oh,
fuck!
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just all cap. Yeah, 500,000.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah, so she does that for a living. And I pretty
Is
much
her?
Yeah, that's her. You'd probably see me in the last.
Wait, I do
Any
recognize that garage. You post it on your story sometimes.
Yeah. I'm there quite a bit. Not so much now. I had to limit my days since I got more side jobs for me that pay more than I would make there. But yeah, I pretty much just do anything that she needs. Like some days I'm a chase car with cameras on my car following her, or assist in mechanical things. But this last month I've just been doing body work on that new car that she posted for like it was way too much body
I feel
work.
like that's like the dream job, right? Like you basically get to go and make fun content all day, and then on top of that, you're working with shit you love, like cars.
Yeah, and I forget to remind myself to appreciate what I'm doing, because some days it does suck. It's not all hunky dory and.
That's with everything, though.
Yeah, exactly. With everything, and especially if you make your job your passion, you're gonna find things that you hate about your passion.
Yes.
Just like with this, I'm sure there's many long hours and many things that can go wrong and do go wrong. And
Oh yeah, we've lost whole episodes before and had to re-record, and that kind of aspect of it sucks. But kind of like you, like when you're in the shop, for like 15 hours a day doing that same shit, like there's definitely burnout sometimes, and it's hard to remind yourself, especially in those moments. Like you're lucky enough to be able to do that. Like, I have to sit myself down, like stop fucking complaining all the time, because you're able to do this show, and like now we're starting to get a little bit of money with it. Not enough to do anything with, right?
Yeah,
but it's a start.
Yeah.
So like, in a couple of months it could be a little bit more, or it could be a lot more, right?
Yeah.
And I just have to remind myself to be appreciative of it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Sometimes I do complain. But without that position with the YouTuber, I would have not been able to afford to get myself a shop, and now that shop has created opportunities. So I like to look back at what put me in the position that I am now. So we'll take it all the way back to Little Blue.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what the question was, but yeah,
I don't either.
Well, what was the question?
I don't even know what I.
I think he asked you what you do.
Oh
for the
yeah,
YouTuber.
what you do. But
Yeah. But I help film, edit sometimes. Not so much anymore, but it's very different every day. Some days I don't do much, but I still get paid for the day.
That's pretty fucking
But
cool.
some, like the last month, I've been working outside long hours and doing body work on this car, making sure it's perfect. So it sucks sometimes, but sometimes it's pretty cool.
It's really fucking cool considering that she has a following that big, and she's trusting you to put the thing that she's gonna display to all these people in your hands.
Yeah, it is nerve-wracking, because if anything went wrong with how I did that job, it would immediately show, and it would immediately be my fault for 500,000 people to see.
Do you think it's more pressure to work on her cars or the clients' cars that you get? Because you just got that new Mustang that you're about to work on, right?
Right. Yes. I feel like there's more pressure with her, because they're to her standards, and not saying that her standards are higher or lower than mine. But there's ways that she wants things done that I wouldn't agree with, and I'm sure there's things that ways that.
It's vice versa.
Yeah,
if you don't like something, she
vice
probably
versa.
wouldn't like it either. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there's times where I suggest something on how to do something, and it doesn't
Pan out that way.
yeah, she doesn't listen, or she doesn't want to listen.
Mhm.
And we end up doing it her way for a very long time.
I guess that's some of the sacrifice of working with somebody that big, though, right?
Yeah, and that's where I have to find the balance where it is her show, it is her project, it's her money paying for all of this, so I have to do it exactly how she wants to, even if I might not like what I'm doing.
I kind of saw that immediately because when you pulled up and you're all like, "It's your guys' art, I'm gonna do," like, I'm like, no, bro. Like, I saw like how you're flexible you are,
Yeah,
in the sense that like you're willing to work and you can make it work in a sense, right?
mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty amazing. But at the same time, I also see that other side of you that's like, I want to do it like this. And it's cool that you're in a position where you can explore both, because they're both going to lead you to different avenues, you know?
Yeah, and I can stay working with her for X amount of years, but I also want to put my art out and put my videos out and do things that I want to do my way.
Mm-hmm.
And how you say, just explore that side of me.
I know that. Go ahead.
Does she know that you do YouTube too? That you have your own channel and everything?
Yeah, she knows, and she whenever I work on one of her cars, she actually shares the videos.
Oh shit!
Yeah, to her followers. There's only been like 2 that she shares, which did help me boost my channel enough where it could be monetized.
Hey, congratulations!
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, she knows that I post, and sometimes she's like, do you have a video ready or something like that? But yeah, she knows.
Okay.
A note of the video, the horse decal on the window, definitely ugly.
Yeah.
Because it's like etched in, right?
Yeah, it's permanent. It's weird. I don't know. I've never seen that before on those cars. I don't know.
Maybe if it was a sticker, but like I was like, what the fuck? Like, again, I'm not a huge car guy, but even I was like, what the fuck is that? Why would they throw that on there?
Yeah, and something so permanent, like somebody commented, and I like the way that they put it. They said that somebody saw that car and said, there ain't enough damn ponies on this car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have fucking horses all over the fucking car.
Like,
even on the seats, right? It had all the horses on it. I'm like,
there's not enough ponies on this car.
Really making that garage a stable at that point.
I know, right? Yeah, and the name The Stable actually came from somebody on Instagram. I had put just a question to see what people think I should name the shop, and The Stable was so perfect because
it fits. Yeah. I was like, damn, I'm gonna win heaven, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But then Stable, I was like, oh, that's fucking good.
Yeah. And there was a couple that I would be like, okay, this one's it, and then somebody else would say something, I'd be like, oh, this is it, and then somebody else would say something, I'd be like, this.
And then you're all, fuck, and you're all looking at. But Stable honestly works because I think the main thing you work on is Mustangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that you're gonna have ponies in there all the fucking time.
Yeah, and it's what I like to do, and I work at my own pace. Like today, I could have been over there, but I'm here chilling with you guys.
Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
No, thank you guys for having me.
I know we appreciate having you here, by the way. But like, I know that by sacrificing your time, that you could have been working on the thing. You're literally sacrificing money right now, and I just want to take a moment to say I appreciate you being here. Okay?
Well, I appreciate you for thinking about it that way, but I'll do this again if you guys.
Oh, sick! I was gonna fucking ask. Yeah,
most likely.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I was honored when Eddie asked. I was like, what? Because I would see your guys' Instagram posts and I'd be like, how do people get on there?
Yeah. So for anyone curious, if they even get to this part, because we're like, what, almost 3 hours in?
2 hours and 42 minutes.
Fuck, I'm so sorry, guys. But if anybody's listening, they're curious. Me and Eddie have like a selection process, right? So we kind of curate it as of right now, and even more so in the future. We choose guests who we think, one, that we're going to have a good conversation with, but two, who are semi-interesting, right? And like we noticed you pretty early on, but for whatever reason, we didn't reach out. We were just kind of like, let's get through some of our friends first and then go like that, right? And then we started inviting more people on that we don't really talk to, and we're like, okay, so Angel. And then we're like, oh, no, not yet. Let's save him. And they're like, Angel, no. And then he would bring it up, or then I would bring it up. So you've been in the works for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
we just didn't reach out immediately and tell you.
What was the reason though that you guys would wait?
I don't know.
I've noticed that you liked our stories whenever we post a
Oh, the reason why we wanted him on?
Oh, the reason why.
Or wait,
I'm asking the reason that what would stop you guys, like when you guys were...
It was usually different reasons. One was because early on we had like scouted you for like episode 14 or something, right? Because we had just started doing guests, and I was like, I think it's a little too early right now because I don't know if we could have a good conversation with him. Like, I don't feel like I would be able to like have a good conversation, like, because a lot of it is based on the guests, but also based on us. If we're not doing our job as hosts, then the guests aren't going to feel comfortable enough to open up. And you can see it with some episodes where we just weren't prepared that day, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if we do have them on, I want it to be a good episode. And then 2, I don't know, really. I just felt like we were waiting for the right time. Like when I felt like it was a good vibe, or when Eddie felt like it was a good vibe, that's when we were going to do it. And then for whatever reason, we were both just like, Angel. And then we're like, okay. I was like, call him, let me know. And then here we are.
It's sick. Well, I'm happy you guys invited me. Now that I think about it, I don't think I introduced myself in the beginning of the
Holy
episode.
shit.
We just jumped into
we
it.
just jumped in.
Yeah, he mentioned that we didn't do the show intro, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But we never introduced who you were because we got so sucked in.
Nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, this is Angel, by the way, 3 hours in.
At the end of the outro.
Okay, wait, before, because we should probably start wrapping it up, but before we do, we do have this segment on the show that we like to do when we remember, because we haven't done it in like a month. It's called Album of the Day, where we recommend an album that we personally like, any genre, any artist, any year, right? For the fans to listen to.
And it has to be...
So when the guests are on, we always have the guests recommend some music too, because everyone's got different music tastes, so...
I've been following this band for a long time, and they just came out with a new album, and I love it. Like, I listened to it on the way here, actually, and the album is called Living in a Haze by Milky Chance.
No fucking way!
You like
I was about it. That was my decision.
My God.
There's no way, really?
No way,
I
bro.
pulled it up. I was like, what the hell is that album name?
There's
Look.
Holy crap!
Literally, when I opened my phone, that's the first thing.
Oh my God! What the fuck is going on here?
That is wild, man.
That is so weird.
It's that fucking Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
It's like, oh! See,
yeah.
that's a sign. We're having you back on.
Yeah.
That right there settles it. I'm gonna go basic and say All Eyes on Me, Tupac. There you go. Good ass album.
Damn that.
All right.
My heart skipped a beat.
Yeah.
My heart skipped a beat.
We're soulmates.
I know. Oh my God.
Karen, I'm so sorry. I didn't know this was gonna happen. I didn't think Eddie was gonna rizz him up.
So that's the album that you were
I was
about
gonna
to say.
that.
Shit.
That's
so now
wild.
you can't.
Yeah, I was gonna get their vinyl too and everything.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. I've seen them probably like 3 times, I think.
Live?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw them one time here in Tucson and twice in Phoenix. They're so good. Like, the
If
listeners
both
should
of you are
definitely
listening
listen
to it, I'm gonna have to check this
Yeah,
shit
They
out.
have
You
this
definitely
one.
have.
What's it called? Stolen, I think. That was from the album before.
A song?
Yeah, it's a song. It's
They have a song called Stolen Dance.
Stolen Dance. That's I feel like if I play, you're gonna be like, oh, it's them.
Yeah. That's like probably
Are
the
they
most
are they
famous one.
semi popular, or like have I heard some of their stuff before?
They're probably like Tim and Paula big, maybe even a little bit.
Okay.
I would
lower.
say they're smaller than Tim
Yeah.
and Paula. I think they're touring with Young the Giant, but as the openers.
Considering
They're
I don't know
smaller.
who Young the Giant is, probably
Oh,
not as
okay.
popular as I was expecting.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know
But
who Young
I-
the Giant is? No.
Okay, what's your main genre of music?
I don't feel like I have a genre. I listen to. If I had to say, I probably like alternative.
Mm.
We are soulmates.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really into like indie rock, indie pop, alternative kind of
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah, that's most of what I'm into. I like hip hop and some rap. I don't do country.
Who doesn't? And like, honestly, but like every time I ask people, they're like, "No country," and I'm like, "What do you?"
You guys haven't tapped into that right country. That's all.
I found
what
my right
everybody
country. I
says.
just haven't explored it. Okay, I like that twangy country.
Oh, yeah.
Twangy, that
Like
banjo,
Brooks and Dunn,
country.
yeah. Like Neon Moon. Have you heard Neon Moon?
Yeah.
That country. Mm,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have a set. I can't say a certain genre that I listen to. Besides,
Alternative.
yeah.
So who's your favorite band?
Don't do that to me. I don't know. I have like.
I don't think he has favorite anything because
Yeah.
like he didn't have a favorite city. You know, it's not. If I asked him a favorite car, I would assume it's a Mustang. But even then, he was like, "Oh, I don't know."
year?
I don't know. I don't have favorite anything. You're
But that's
right.
great. That's great. It means you're open to all experiences equally, except country.
Yeah, except country. I'm not open to country. Don't invite me to Country Thunder.
I don't like banda, so
Banda, yeah.
or mariachi. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like Mexican or just Spanish music in general.
Yeah, I listen to some Spanish rock here and there, but not like banda music. I can't.
Wait, do you speak Spanish?
Yeah,
Holy shit!
yeah. I lived in Mexico for 2 years, 3 years.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god! Wait! We're gonna have to start stopping because
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep asking you
Yeah.
questions. There's so much I want to learn. Okay.
Save for the next one.
Yeah.
We're definitely having a part 2.
Yeah.
Hell
Just
yeah.
let's get through some of these guests and then I'll call you up.
Yeah,
Or he'll
yeah.
call you up.
Yeah.
because
I live like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, and that makes it even easier to record.
Yeah,
It's just like, are you busy today? No, cool. You down? Yeah, cool. Okay.
Mhm.
And then I've always noticed that when we do part 2s with people, it becomes even easier and the conversation gets even better. So
Yeah.
just wait till next time. It's gonna be even more amazing.
Hell yeah, I'm done.
I'll write more jokes.
That's the thing is you don't have to write them.
They just come up.
Yeah,
That's a skill. That is a
Yeah.
fucking skill.
yeah. That's a skill that can't be learned.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and can't be taught.
Yeah, it can't be taught.
I
or-
can't teach you guys.
How do we be funny?
I don't know. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to the end of the show?
Tag your
to you guys?
YouTube in.
Oh yeah, what's your YouTube?
Oh yeah, my YouTube.
I mean,
my
I know it, but I'm giving you. the
Yeah.
opportunity.
My YouTube channel is Rookie Pilots. I build cars and restore cars and modify cars,
and maybe travel vlogs soon.
and maybe travel vlogs with a little bit of car spice in there. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and check that out.
And we're gonna link his socials in the description. So if you guys feel like checking out this sexy man, you just click the description. You guys know what to do. I don't know why I'm asking.
Yeah, don't ask me.
I mean, it's been a while since I asked
I
you
know
because
you-
normally
yeah.
we've just ended
Go
it.
go ahead.
Do you have anything you wanna add?
No.
Okay. He never does.
I never do. What am I gonna add? Actually, ask me one more time.
What do you have anything you want to add to the end of the show?
Let me pull out the calculator.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't
Do
get
you
it.
want to add? Do you have?
Ah, this guy.
It's a knee slapper.
Not
What a
really.
way to end.
Oh god. Okay, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all.
This concludes the Moon Men podcast. The end.